Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg. Am
And
I still? Oh yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. Just do it.
I don't know.
It's a very special Christmas gift to all our listeners. Hey, listeners.
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to sucking face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it. Ger can get it.
We didn't have enough Adrian Paul in Tracker, so we decided to watch Adrian Paul again. But this time as a vampire. Adrian Paul the vampire. And I love how at the beginning they're like, they can pass as human if they want to. And they all look like they just died. Like they're all like pale and they have dark circles around their eyes and they're all like, ugh. They're like,
Correct.
no one is looking at that person and thinking, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. They all look like they have never seen sunlight. And as you said, like their skin is blue. They're all wearing dark clothing. And for whatever reason, like I feel like they're even extra 1940s sci-fi than what everybody else looks like. And yeah, they're like, how can we tell? And I'm like, well, also they have the giant fangs. Like they're the fangs that are like not retractable and that they're not even trying to hide.
Yeah, they always have fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. So
we're talking about The Breed.
Yeah. From, what did you say? 2001?
2001, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It was on Tubi forever. And then I recommended that you watch it. And Tubi was like, yoink, and took it off.
You have to pay, bitch.
That was crazy. I was like, man, it's been, you know how long I've watched it like 8 times on Tubi. I can't believe they took it off.
I think that was I think that was their agreement with the producers of the movie. They were like, if this movie is watched by anyone at all for a total of 8 times, you have to take it off. That means that someone out there is willing to pay. And then they just...
This is the one and only Amazon review that I've ever left.
You left an Amazon review? What was your Amazon review for this?
It was way back when Amazon only sold like books and DVDs. And
sure, at the dawn of time.
Yeah, so I got it. I think I bought it at Media Play. Do you remember Media Play? Did you have a Media Play? Oh, Media Play was like CDs, DVDs, video games, sometimes used video games.
Okay.
That's where I bought the Forever Night Season 1 when it came out. And it was like your place to go if you wanted to get music or a movie. And they would have like the sci-fi section was like 2 huge rows. And it would be not just what just came out, but like any sci-fi movie on DVD, they probably had it there.
Oh,
and so
awesome.
you could just go and browse and buy stuff. But it was it had the Borders problem where they gave you too many rewards because you had like a Media Play reward card. And if you went on triple play day, like triple point days, you could buy stuff and you got like 3 points per dollar. And you ended up getting a gift certificate for almost the same amount that you just spent. So you got whatever you got for free. And then you got to go back and use your points to buy other stuff. And Borders used to have the same thing where they'd be like, if you spend $10, we'll give you $15. And then they were like, this is sustainable as a company. And like that was
I never understood why Borders shut down. And I feel like I'm getting a hint now.
Because they even, when I worked there, they had a Borders credit card at one time. And like people would have it and they discontinued it. But like if you kept it, you got to keep using it. And so people would hoard that shit. Because if you spent like $10, you literally got like a $50 gift certificate. So people would bring in stacks of gift certificates and be like, I got gift certificates from my credit card. And I was like, I didn't even know we had a credit card. They're like, you guys don't have it anymore, but like I can't get rid of it because I get so many rewards from it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So that was their problem. They tried to do too much for the customers and they ended up putting themselves out of business.
Well, thank God companies aren't like that anymore.
But I mowed one lawn. Like I would mow my neighbor's lawn and they paid me $30. And then I could go to Media Play and get like 1 high-priced DVD or 2 DVDs of reasonable cost. And I think I got The Breed there. And I watched it and I was like, I don't know what I just watched. But I know I really liked it. And then I went on Amazon and I reviewed it. for some reason. And it got like 4 thumbs up, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, so everybody likes my review.
So you've been a niche internet micro celebrity for like 20 years is what you're telling me.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Mhm.
Since the dawn of the internet.
I didn't know you used to work at Borders. I used to work at Barnes & Noble. We're like the Montagues and the Capulets. We're like blood enemies.
I worked at Books A Million too.
Oh, what? You slut! You slept around in the bookstore business.
Yeah, Books A Million was shitty. Books A Million was shitty. And then they fired me, and then Borders hired me.
How do you get fired from Books A Million? What were you doing?
I don't want to talk about it.
Seriously? Okay.
No, I really got fired. I was a manager. And the actual manager, like the store manager, was like a compulsive liar, and he stole a deposit.
This sounds familiar.
He was like, I don't know what happened, but like the general manager, like the district manager, was best friends with him, and so they fired all of the managers.
This story sounds both familiar and not familiar.
Like, if no one's gonna fess up, we're gonna get rid of all of you. Only one time. I've only been fired one time, and I was like,
okay, then we have talked about this maybe. But I didn't know it was the elite chain of Books A Million. I didn't know that it was from such a high level that you fell.
And I was an assistant manager too. I made $9 an hour, and I had mandatory overtime.
As an assistant manager, you only made $9 an hour? That is
Books
bullshit.
A Million was shitty. I mean, shitty. It was so bad. And the amount of the amount of money that went missing was like less than one paycheck. And I was like, why would I lose my job for less than I make every 2 weeks? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if I was going to steal money from you, A, you wouldn't know about it, and B, it'd be a lot more. I didn't say that, thankfully, but they put on my background check that I was of questionable moral character, and it was on there.
But that's accurate, so that's fair. I mean, whoa!
What just?
Oh my God!
What just happened? What just happened?
Okay, well, I had a little pin board up on the wall, full of a lot of real heavy pins.
Okay,
and I thought I used enough sticky stuff, and I guess I didn't. So it fell down, and all the pins just went. So I'm sitting in a landmine.
It was a ghost that liked Books A Million.
Fuck, I guess. Well, I do live in the suicide house, so he might, maybe he's hanging around, and he's like, no.
They were like, out. Books A Million was the shit.
Maybe he was one of the founders of Books A Million. Oh, well, at least my pins are okay. I got my Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar pin.
That is a very heavy looking pin.
Yeah, they're all
substantial.
Yeah, and they all landed like jabby side up. So
yeah, so that way you can't leave. You're stuck here until we get done talking about the breed.
No, this is my home now. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, clearly we'll have to cut this out so people don't drive off the road.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave it.
You're gonna leave the part.
Leave it, because it was very well timed. It's when you said, "Yeah, you are." When I said I was of questionable moral character, and then the pinwall,
the pinwall
like, threw itself at you. Thank you. The ghost is on my side. I may be of questionable moral character, but don't put it in my background check, because I could not get a job for 7 years. I couldn't pass a background check.
And I don't understand why. So you said that they fired multiple people. We'll get back to the movie. I don't care. But they fired multiple people?
Yeah, me and another manager. The two managers that were like on duty the day after the
still like 2 people seems excessive. Like it's hurting you guys in that you don't have a job, but also like you've just lost 2 assistant manager level people who you need to do assistant manager level things. Like that just seems dumb.
Yeah, well, we were of questionable moral character, so whatever.
To be fair, like, okay, so when I worked at Barnes & Noble, I was not up in the ranks enough to work in the actual book area. They had me in the not legally a Starbucks. So, and then if they like ran out of people, that's when they would like let me do book things. But, we had like one break area in the back. I was like an employee like everybody else. And I remember sitting back there and being like, none of you are normal. None of these are like I get like questionable moral character is like what opens the door to then working at the Barnes & Noble. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. We didn't even have a break room. We just had the back room, and they put a pallet. And if you wanted to sit down, you could sit on the pallet.
Jesus Christ. Was this in Soviet Russia? This is terrible.
No, Hampton Roads, Virginia. And that Books A Million's not even in business anymore.
Is this part of your... No, wait, your Deep Hatred is for West Virginia. Okay, I'm learning the lore of you. I'm going to learn it all at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When were you in regular Virginia and not haunted Mothman
we
Virginia?
We graduated in 2008. And
Yeah.
he got into master's degree program at NC State.
Mm.
And then he got accepted into a research program at NASA in Langley.
Langley's Virginia. Okay. All right. Ding.
Yep.
Okay. There
And
we
so
go.
we moved to Hampton Roads because it's the place where we could afford to live that was near to Langley. And
Yes.
then I got the job at Books A Million, and he failed out of the NASA program without telling me.
Well, you didn't
and
need to know
then-
that shit. You were in
Yeah,
the management training program at Books A Million. That shit required all of your
Oh,
focus.
bold of you to assume there was a training program. Bold of you to assume. No, I was a barista, and they were like, hey, you can show up to work on time. Would you like to be a manager? And I was like, okay. So I went from making $7.15 an hour to $9 an hour.
Oh, well, we had similar, except you got promoted, and I just got sometimes sent to the front, where I got to talk to the creepy old men buying pornography, which was a surprisingly large part of the Barnes & Noble consumer base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matt did the Barnes & Noble Not Legally a Starbucks track.
Oh, okay. I knew I liked him. We've been.
That's where he worked the one and only time I've ever won anything in a contest. I entered a podcasting contest of all things, but it was like I made a visual podcast, but it was like a slideshow that I had made, and I just narrated it while the slides changed.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently only 2 people submitted stuff. And the other guy had done like a whole hand-drawn animation thing and put it up. And
Oh,
I
wow.
just half-assed. Like they were like, hey, we only have 1 person entered. Can you make another one? And I was like, I guess. So I took a PowerPoint I'd already made and just narrated the PowerPoint. And they gave it to me because they were like, that's what a podcast is, not what he did. And I was like, God, I wish I could go back in time and be like, honestly, you really should give it to the other guy. But I won an iPod, like the big iPod, the like 150
Yes.
gigabyte iPod with the little square on it. It was the one thing I've ever won in my whole life. And Matt had it. He took it in the car with him to Barnes & Noble, and he left it on the seat, and he left all the dark car doors unlocked. And he left it next to his own iPod. And so somebody just opened the door and took both iPods. And he was like, somebody broke into the car. And I was like, okay. Which is not even the second time he's done that. So it's fine. It's fine. This has turned into a Rachel Bio podcast.
I'm going to say this with like the most love. I think without you, he would be dead. I think
he'd still be working at Walmart because that's where he was when I found him.
Yeah, but he would have like a secret. Okay. I feel like we've discussed the video game Portal at some point.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Portal 2, the second one?
He played Portal 2.
Okay.
I was present while it was played.
Okay. So, you know how there's the character of Ratman, and you find the former scientist at Portal, and you like find his like hidey holes around the science facility, and he's like drawn shit all over the walls. So I'm imagining that, but at Walmart and with Matt in the place of Ratman. Like he's figured out faster than light travel,
Mm-hmm.
but also nobody at Walmart has seen him in 6 months, and like the cheese keeps disappearing from the deli.
That fits.
And he lives in a place between some walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like that guy that lived in Toys R Us.
Yes. Or
Yeah.
or did you hear about I think it was a lady who lived in because you're in Michigan, the Meijer grocery stores.
Yeah.
The big like the big like I can see you from the highway sign that the grocery store will have, like the freestanding sign.
Yeah.
Apparently, I always thought that those were like basically 2-dimensional, but apparently they are wide enough that a person, were he or she so motivated, could climb up the pole, and there's like a space inside the sign, like between the front sign and the back sign, and it's just big enough that you could like lie there like a little mummy. And this woman was like living her life in there, and then when she needed to like I guess there's like a power charger like on the outside of the pole, And then she would go and like shop in the Meijer and like get her groceries and then like go outside and climb back up the pole into her little house. And I have never been more jealous. I was like, you're the smartest person I've ever heard of. They didn't find her for like months. And I think they only found her because there was like some totally unrelated to her problem with the sign. And it's not, it's not like a Wendy's sign where you like change the letters. It's like the permanent lit up Meijer sign.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to go up there and do anything unless like the sign burns out. And I guess it burned out and someone like popped their head in there and she was like, hello, you're in my living room. Hi. And they were like, okay, we're calling the cops now. And I don't know what happened to her, but she remains my hero. She's the smartest person I've ever heard of.
It's like the guy that lived in a box truck in the Google parking lot and he had a blog.
What? No.
He worked at Google and it was he didn't want to buy a house because it was too expensive to buy a house. So he bought a box truck and he parked it in the Google parking lot in his parking space. And he put a bed in the back and he had he made himself a little kitchen, but they had a cafeteria. They had a gym. So he would just go in and eat and shower.
Yeah, they have everything at Google. That is so smart.
Yeah. And then he lived in the box truck for fucking ever. I think he's since sold the box truck and he bought property somewhere else. Like he left Google and he bought property on the East Coast and was like, yeah, I don't live in the box truck anymore, but like, I'm glad I did it. But he had a blog and he was like, I will never monetize this blog. Like that was the thing across the top.
Although I am enjoying these Lay's potato chips.
I know.
I want him to have been secretly advertising the way that everyone did in Tracker. Where they're like, no one is going to know that we got paid for this, you guys.
Do you know why I'm on Earth? 1-800-COLLECT. It's more convenient than people think.
I feel bad that like on the one hand, I feel like anytime that anyone has ever interviewed Ger, like they are only ever asking about Forever Night because why else are they that's the big thing that he did. Like that's the only thing that they want to interview him about. I feel bad that if he gave me an hour to interview him, Forever Night would maybe come up at at minute 59. The rest of it would be like, hey, remember those FedEx commercials you did? Tell me about when you had to be in a field with a bunch of ducks. Tell me all about the ducks. I want to know all about it. And were you best friends with Bernie Behrens? Why was he always playing your dad? Was he cool? Did you love him? Did you hang out? Were you bros? It would just be so stupid. And then it would be a lot of talk about so did you get paid more because you were doing a commercial and a TV show at the same time? Did they give you 2 paychecks that week or 2 hams or what?
Did they really kill the cow? I feel like we have enough deep lore that our question, he'd be like, in what? I feel like we know enough deep lore that we'd ask him about it and he'd be like, what is that from? And he'd be like, Deadly Harvest. And he'd be like, I have
no memory. Yeah.
I literally.
There's no way that if he remembers Deadly Harvest at all, which I feel like it was 50 years ago.
He does not.
You don't remember that.
No.
If he remembers it at all, he does not remember the cow. Because he's not part of that scene where they kill the cow, right? Is he? I don't.
No, it's the little girl. Because they kill it in front of her. And then he may run out into the field because she's crying. Because she's like, Melody, as they're driving off with her cow.
So maybe he saw the cow corpse being dragged around. Maybe he was around for the corpse part, but I don't imagine he was around for the part where they definitely killed that cow.
Maybe they would have had a cow on set and then they would have not had a cow on set. So,
Sir, what do you remember? Can you please tell us?
I would feel much better if it was a foam cow and you saw it its legs didn't bend or anything, but no, it's legit. It's a cow and it dies.
Well, I just feel
I stand by this.
I feel like in the 70s, if they had used a fake cow, it would have been very, very obvious that it was a fake cow. The quality would have been so low.
Yeah, you would have known.
And this had such a high quality that either it was the same cow or they had a live cow and a dead stunt cow.
Stunt cow.
There were real hairy animal parts being used in that movie where you know what? It would have been fine. That movie was so insane that a plastic cow leg would not have taken me out of it. That would have been fine. I would have been super cool with that.
Yeah. So my kids checked out Milo and Otis.
Is that the dog and the fox?
It's the dog and the cat.
Dog and the cat. I haven't seen a lot of those.
It's a dog and a cat. And it was one of my favorite movies growing up. And it was made in Japan in the 80s. And so the lore is that they actually killed a bunch of cats and dogs because there's a part where the pug has to fight a bear And the pug is definitely for realsies fighting this bear. And there's another part where the cat goes over a waterfall.
I have heard of this.
And
I
so
have
I
heard of
was,
this. It's
I
giving me
was like,
nightmares.
the kids were they rented it and they were watching it and they were having like the best time. And I was like, I'm gonna Google this. Like, I'm just gonna Google around for a little bit. And so I found an article that was like, honestly, there's no actual evidence of them having harmed any animals on set. And actually, in Japan at the time, it was like a criminal offense to harm a pet or like to harm an animal.
Okay.
And so, in all likelihood, nobody was harmed in the making of this movie. And I was like, okay, but like that pug is definitely fighting that bear. Like,
yeah. How did you make it? You couldn't have made it look that good without doing something really
without
wrong.
literally having that pug be like, I can't breathe. I'm trying to swim. And the bear's like, like hitting the. So I don't, my conclusion was like, we don't think anybody got hurt, but like, we don't have a way of saying one
Yeah.
way or the other, but like, in all honesty, probably not. And so that's where I'm going to fall on the cow. It's like, I mean, they could have just gotten one from the slaughterhouse and been like, it's going to die anyway. Do you guys just want to kill it on set? And they would be like, well, I mean, I guess.
I'm hoping that the actor cow got to live out her acting cow dream life and that they just had one that the slaughterhouse had already like stun gunned in the brain and they just dragged that across the field a couple of times and then they gave it back to the slaughterhouse to make into McDonald's hamburgers. That's what I'm hoping.
Let's leave it at that, I think. Yeah. Should we talk about the breed?
I mean, if you really want to.
There's so much to say though. I mean, you open with that brilliant is it Woodbine? What's the guy's first name? Mr. Grant.
He had kind of an unusual first name, isn't it? Like, it's not Bazor because that's a thing from medieval. But I don't remember.
Just look it up. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll look it up because I'm going to be like, that guy.
Although I will say that the guy who plays his partner for the first 2 seconds, I have seen him, not the Breeders, come on, Google. I have seen him in like 100 different things. And then I looked him up on IMDb. And, you know, when you go, like, I'm on Wikipedia and I was going through his credits and I was like, nope, no. Don't know any of these things, but I know you from like,
something.
Yeah.
Bokeem Woodbine.
Bokeem Woodbine. Okay. The guy who plays his partner, let's see if I can find it. I had such a thought. Brain fart. Yeah, he has sort of like a John Kapelos career. Do you know what I mean? Where he's been in...
Reed Diamond.
That's the name. Yeah, I knew it sounded sort of like a porn star. Reed Diamond. Yeah. When he showed up, okay, so I feel like Reed Diamond, and no shade to Reed Diamond, but like, you know what your career is. I feel like he often plays either slimy characters or I'm the good guy. P.S. No, I'm not characters. Like, I feel like that's who he is. Either like immediately slimy or like secretly on the take. So when they showed him in the very beginning as the partner, I was like, okay, I've seen this guy. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's a professional actor. He's a good actor. I like him. Like the guy, the main guy, the guy who plays Mr. Grant.
Yes, Mr. Grant.
He's not Mr. Woodbine who plays Mr. Grant. Like he's not a good actor.
Yeah.
And there's no shade on him. He just doesn't do a good job. So like when those two are the ones you see at the beginning, I was like, okay, professional actor, guy I've never seen before who like everything he's saying sounds like he's reading it off a billboard from like way across the set.
Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy will die and Reed Diamond will be the main guy. Or when Reed Diamond's character gets bitten by the vampire, I was like, okay, he'll come back as like a bad vampire. And that'll be part of what goes on in the movie. Like he's now like the big bad for the movie. No, they bring Reed Diamond in. He's like, hey, I'm an asshole cop. And then Bokeem Woodbine's like, me too.
Hey, you want to come over to my house on Saturday? My wife is making a pot roast. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll come for her pot roast. Or she makes the best pot roast. Like, it's the most like, we're friends. We're friends.
It felt like, how do we establish this? It's like,
just real quick.
Weird, banal.
Yeah. Just get it. Yeah, it's fine. Although it's funny because Bokeem is by far the more famous actor.
Like
he's gone on to be in a lot of other stuff, and every time I see him, I'm like, oh, the guy from The Breed.
Well, I feel bad now. I just didn't think he did a good job in this.
No, he didn't do a good job in this. He does a lot better in other things that he's been in. He was in, let's see, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really? As what?
Let's see.
Herman Schultz, Shocker
Herman
number
Schultz.
2. I saw that movie. I don't know what that refers to. That's terrible.
Okay, I'm pulling up the filmography. Hang on.
Queen and Slim, I feel like I've at least heard of.
He is famous for something because I remember when it first came out, it was like, features Bokeem Woodbine. Like he was a feature, him being in it. And I've seen him in lots of stuff after it. And I've mentioned this movie to other people and they see it and they're like, Bokeem Woodbine is in this? So like he's the one that people are like, oh, he's in that?
That's so funny. It says he was in Fargo. I'm assuming they mean the TV show and not the TV show.
Let's see, he was in The Rock. Always a good one.
But that would have been, Fargo comes out way later, so that wouldn't be what he was famous for at the time. What is he famous for? Crooklyn. Oh, he was with Mario Van Peebles in Panther. I don't know what Panther is, but I know Mario Van Peebles. Dead Presidents, I feel like I've at least heard of. I feel bad. I don't know. That's funny. Well, I'm glad that like he has had an acting career after this and he's like done better than this. In this, I was like, did they just find you? Is this your first acting job ever? And that's the thing I find the most weird about this movie. And there's so much weird about this movie. But the thing that I find the most weird is that it feels like it's almost an even mix of people that are really competent, very good actors next to people where I'm like, is this your first day on the planet Earth? Like, not even your first day acting. Like, is this your first day seeing words on a page and trying to figure out how those words might come out of a human being's mouth? Because you have missed the mark so hard.
It is a very interesting mix.
And what's weird is I feel like if I had to categorize those, like all the actors in this movie into those two groups, the main cast is mostly in the have never spoken human language before pile. And then the like one-off characters, like the guy who runs the nightclub, and then to a certain extent, the guy who wanted to be a theater actor when he was alive and is now a vampire. Like, even though his character is weird, I feel like he's a competent actor. Like when his character stops doing like funny voices and they're like talking to him like as himself. And I was like, why are the characters who are like the one-off 20-second scene and then on to the next thing? Why are those the ones who are like the John Kapelos, I've done 1,000 things, this is 1,001, I know my lines, I know my motivation, like I know where I have to look, let me do it. Like, why are those the ones in the small roles? And the guys who are like, what is words? Why are those the main ones?
It kind of feels like, you know how there's 3 types of employees? There's the person that will work hard no matter what you do. There's the person that will work hard if they're managed correctly. And there's the person who will never work hard no matter what you do. It kind of feels like the ones that you think are the ones that are actually doing a good job acting are the ones that will do a good job acting no matter what the director is like.
Yeah,
and then
that's probably true.
A lot of the main actors are probably the types of actors that do really well when they have really good direction. And I honestly don't know if this movie had a director or if they just had like a paper cutout of a person with a frowny face and they were like, I don't know, are we trying hard today? And like that's all it said or what? But I think that's probably why it varies so much, because I think it's literally it feels like every man for himself. Like either you know what you're doing and you do a good job, or you're coming at this hoping you get help and you're not going to get any help.
That feels accurate. I feel like from the opening credits, when I saw that the costume designer only had one name, I was like, we're doomed. No.
Yes.
Like you're not like whoever, I don't remember what the name was. It was like, it felt like someone had taken the name Vanessa and been like, what if I zhuzh it up a little bit? It's like Vavessa or something. It was like a made up, like a fucking made up name. And I was like, you're not Versace. Do you know what I mean? Like, and even if you were Versace, it would say like Versace and make it clear that it was like the company, or like Gianni Versace to be like the guy. You wrote down Vavessa. I don't know who Vavessa is. There's not, and it feels like a 50% mix of you thought you either were or were going to be such a big deal that everyone would be like, yeah, Vavessa, obviously. Oh my God, Vavessa did the costuming for this movie. Or you were like, I am so ashamed of my involvement in this. You get one name and it's not even mine. Like that.
Like Alan Smith.
Yes, yeah, that right.
Yeah.
Isn't that the fake name that actors use in movies when they're like, I don't want to be credited
That's
actually?
the fake director.
Fake director. Okay.
Alan Smithy. If it's directed by Alan Smithy, then they like wash their hands of it.
Now I'm looking to see who the director of this movie is because I wanted to say Alan Smithy.
Profanity severe. Oh, is it? Let's see.
Michael Oblowitz is the director.
Does it say who did the costumes?
Not on Wikipedia.
Do you want... I'm scrolling down on IMDb and it's like, do you want more words? These are similar movies and it's like vampire horror, other movies in English.
I'm going to be honest. This one barely fits into that second category.
Wow. Thank you. What did you say? It was like they had translated it with Google Translate and then given the actors the...
Well, because that's the other thing about this movie. Okay, so for anybody listening, you're so confused, and so were we. So you're getting the auditory version of what it is to watch this movie. But the first time you watch it, like it's confusing. It's visually ugly. The acting is not great. There's
Ava Vasiva.
Hey,
Vasseva. Vaseva.
Yeah.
And because her name is Ava Voss, and so she goes by Vaseva.
Listener, you can't see me roll my eyes, but I think you felt me roll my eyes. So it's deep into the back of my head. So like, it's not pretty. The acting is not good, and it doesn't make any sense the first time you watch it. But I will encourage you to watch it a second time.
It's strangely compelling.
It is strangely compelling.
It's strangely compelling.
If you've watched it once and you get like, you can put together the plot and understand what's going on. Then the second time you watch it, you can kind of be like paying attention for the plot. And I feel like once you get to the nugget of plot in the center of this movie, it's not good, but it's something. It's an interesting.
It's engaging.
It's engaging, yeah. But it's
fun. I think this movie's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. But I like the point of it that they were the writer or like it feels like someone took either a really interesting prompt or a very compelling, super super short story, and then they were like, oh, let's make this into a movie. And then they just failed in every aspect of it. But like that nugget at the center is good. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So it is ugly and no one can act. But in terms of the sound design, at least when I watched it, so I purchased it on Apple because as you said, Tubi no longer has it for free because they sensed that someone somewhere wanted it. So they were like, nope, shut it down. But the sound design, it sounds like every single actor in this was redubbed in post. And the redubbing is not, it doesn't sound like you're in the scene. Like it sounds very much like redubbing like on top of everything. And like the background sounds don't match at all. And they're not like really there. And also like the dialogue is written in such a stilted manner that I was not really joking when I asked you if this movie had been filmed in another language and then redubbed over in English, because that is the sense that you get. Like it does sound like the language choice does sound like when you translate from another language, but like really poorly. And so there's like turns of phrase and expressions that don't really exist in English and don't like make a lot of sense. Like that is how the sound design feels. So like it's all these wrong choices. But like as you said, the nugget at the core of it, I found really compelling. It's emotionally impactful what they're trying to get to, like way, way, way down deep under like 6 layers of hot garbage.
So, yeah.
It feels like what's that company? Is it A24 that makes like the really prestige movies?
Yeah.
It feels like an A24 movie and a B movie smashed into each other, and I don't know if it's like A24 trying to make a garbage movie or like a B movie company trying to make a prestige movie, and they couldn't, they like met somewhere in the middle in a place where no movie has ever existed, like in a weird new third dimension of movie. Like it's somehow both prestige and garbage. Like
I think that's a very good description for it. Yeah. I was trying to see if my review was still up on Amazon. I'm all the way back in 2004 and I don't see it, so I'm not going to keep looking.
I'm sorry. Well, intrepid listeners should try and find it and send it to Rachel so that
I don't even know if I put I don't think you had to put your name on it at the time, so I don't even know. It's fine. But yes, it is difficult to describe until you've experienced it, honestly, because
legally a film.
Adrian Paul is trying the hardest. The hardest. Every single vampire character is named after some fictional vampire.
Yeah.
Not even stealthily, just like
No. There's Lucy Westenra, there's Dr. Orlock.
Yeah. There's the coroner from the very beginning. I think her name is Elizabeth Bathory.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love how she's smoking. Everyone in this movie is smoking. Everyone. And she's smoking over this body. And she's like, I mean, if you want me to put a name on it, like she had her throat torn out. Like that's the coroner. It's just like smoking over
well, so
this body.
that is, I'm glad that you mentioned that because that brings into the other incomprehensible style choice that was made in this movie, which didn't you say it was influenced by, I know Wikipedia says it was influenced by Terry Gilliam's Brazil, but didn't you say it was influenced by like Blade Runner or something?
Oh, I didn't know it had. I mean, I know they're trying for something, but I don't know what the influences were. I kind of want to see this whole movie remade without the weird setting because it's set in this weird, like, maybe the Germans won and we're all kind of living in some sort of dystopian world where
it is. Yeah.
And you're not aware of that immediately because you don't know until Grant goes to the office and he walks in and there's like really loud click-clacking typewriters and like really weird video phones and like there's a voice speaking over a loudspeaker in the background the whole time, like party slogans that are like reporting on your enemy makes him your friend or something like two hands doing the same thing can't like hurt the other hand or like they're all
the open
saying
hand can't take discipline or something
or can't grasp discipline.
Can't grasp discipline. Yeah. So it is a choice that I feel like if I could only remove one of the terrible choices that this movie made, it would be
the setting,
their overall vibe. Yeah, their overall setting because it's everyone. Okay, so at the very, very beginning, there is a line that's like, in the near future, whatever. And like, that's the only introduction we have to this entire world. And you're right, it does feel like, so everyone fashion-wise, they're going for like a 1940s style. Yeah, so if you're thinking like fashion for like hairstyles for women, it's like the little sock bun in the front of the hair to give it that extra volume. And then the little like hairnet poofs in the back. And everyone's got sort of the like think about what your grandmother looked like in World War II. Like that's like that kind of like wool suits, like skirt suits, like that kind of vibe. And as you said, everyone's smoking. But also it is in like a weird dystopian future where the two police officers we first meet, apparently they work for the NSA and then become homicide cops somehow because that's the thing. But you're right, like everyone is everyone except for Bai Ling is like vaguely like, and I guess Bokeem Woodbine is like vaguely like Eastern European, but with American accents. And then all of a sudden, like there's people that do have like Polish Jewish accents coming in, and I'm like, I don't know where we are because it feels like you've said NSA, which to me means America. Your first two police officers we meet have American English speaking accents, and then all the other characters. And the 1940s vibe and the totalitarian vibe, like as you said, like the Big Brother 1984 World War II if we lost vibe. It feels like, okay, are we in Europe now? And then like there's one point where they're standing in front of a fountain with like giant Running Man sculptures, and that feels very Europe. And then we end up in what apparently was a actual abandoned Jewish ghetto. So again, it's reading very much like Europe, but like the main characters are American. So it's like too much. And like if you had just set this in present day or in some kind of generic future that wasn't also the 1940s, like if you had just made a less conspicuous style choice to make it weird, like there's nothing about the movie that depends on this being the future. This could
not
be
at all.
Today. This
Yeah,
could be today, and the
yeah.
government like was just told by vampires that they exist, and you could do that because you did it in True Blood. Like
Right.
it obviously like it works. Like there's nothing about this that depends on future science or whatever. So like why the fact that they did that is like why? Like you're trying so
Yeah.
hard on something that you don't need to try hard on. And in fact, it's taking away from me focusing on the story because I'm just looking at everyone going, what the hell happened to you? Why do you
Yeah.
look the way you look? Why are you acting the way you're acting? Like be less ugly. Take it down.
It's the single dumbest choice in the movie. Like it's the one thing that every
Yes.
time I watch it, I'm like, God, I wish they hadn't done that. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what they were like. I don't know why they thought, okay, I've got a not a horrible script. Like if you took that script and you gave it, like you cut out the actors that were like, I don't know how to read, and you put, if in different hands with a
Yeah.
better director and someone who wasn't trying so hard, like it feels like they're trying so hard, and it ends up
Yes.
harming the movie. Like the plot, I think the setting is why this movie isn't better known because it's so bizarre.
Yes.
It's off-putting. Like
Yeah.
if I hadn't told you to watch this movie, you would have gotten to the part where he walks into his office and the lady is like tap 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 on the little typewriter, and there's like it's very overwhelming immediately when he walks into the like downtown.
Yes. I would have been like, I'm done.
You bail because you're like, vampires aren't getting me through this.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's frustrating because I feel like I know why they do it because the government agency that they work for is part of a totalitarian government, which for reasons that I don't know, lately it just sort of feels like compelling to me to watch things with totalitarian governments. I don't know. They feel sort of familiar and homey lately. I wonder why. But like I feel like up until recently, anytime that you're showing something with like a totalitarian government, for whatever reason, like they want to do it as like a 1940s thing. Like they're like Hitler is totalitarian. Like the audience will get that. So I'm going to give you a lot of like Hitler signs. Like I'm going to give you like big hanging flags, and I'll give you 1940s hair, and you'll all know that this means that it's a bad government. Or like if they're going to do something sort of in the present era, I feel like they go like 50s, 60s, and they go South America. Like I feel like those are their like visual cues.
yeah.
And so like I feel like that's maybe one of the reasons why like so I couldn't finish I read Handmaid's Tale, I read the sequel The Testaments, which was not as good, but like fine. So I read them and I liked them, and I watched the first couple of seasons of the show. And the thing that made it very good, but also like very hard to watch was that they set Handmaid's Tale essentially now. So like the cars look like our cars, and the clothing, other than like the cloaks that the wives and the handmaids wear. Other than that, like the like everything looks basically now, and so like you can do it. And it's like it's a little extra hard to watch because you're like, oh, this feels familiar in lots of ways, and I don't have the like funny costuming or like accents that are not my accent to like take me out of it and make me feel like safe and protected from this. But like you can do it. We've shown that you can do it. Like it's possible to give us totalitarian and also like vaguely North America, vaguely now. Like you could do it. And I think I agree with you entirely. If they had done that for this movie and been like, let's just make it as much now as we can, and then where we need to like make it different to make clear that this is an authoritarian government. Like you can do that. You can just take the present and tweak it a little, and it's much more effective than going, what if Nazi vampires from the future? Like it's too much.
It's too much. I'll agree with
It suffers, I feel like, from the weird color saturation that we had in the early 2000s, where they're just like, oh, is it horror? Blue. Congrats. Every scene, blue. Everybody's face, blue. Their clothing, blue. Blue everywhere. And it's like separate and apart from the fact that like every woman's hair in the 2000s, it just looks like greasy. I don't know why that was like the style that we all had. We're like, what if they just looked wet? What if Bai Ling just looks like you dunked her in some KY jelly the entire movie, and that's her fashion, that's her hairstyle?
I know, poor Bai Ling.
Poor Bai Ling. It just makes it like
she's in a different movie from everybody else, so I don't feel that bad for her. I don't know where she was, but I feel like they green screened her in. Like they were like, pretend people are here. And she was like, okay. And then did her thing. And then they had to.
Yeah.
She's in a different movie from everybody else.
So, like,
She's in a different setting. She wears different costumes.
Correct.
She has a different accent. She looks different.
Correct. She's the only Asian woman on screen. And they were like, so everything in this movie is ugly and weird. And then you're right. For Bai Ling, they were like, what if we went uglier and weirder? And I'm like, but you already went max ugly, max weird. And they're like, no, we didn't. And they crank it up for her. And you're right. Everyone else sort of looks like vaguely 1940s clothing that like period clothing that would not look out of place in a period piece. And then for her, they're like, what if feathers and mini skirt and she has a panther on a chain, and also she has red eyeshadow up to her eyebrows and also maybe, I don't know, down to her nose
and a plastic hood
and her hair is going to be held up by 19 metal wires and as much glue as we can put in it. And then she's the only vampire for most of the movie that has spooky vampire contacts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, because I am, as you are, an aficionada of the vampire lore, I was like, well, vampires, if they have the spooky eyes and the other ones don't have the spooky eyes, that must mean something. Maybe she's hungry or horny or evil or a different kind of vampire or something. No. The best I had
is style choice.
Just a style choice that for most of the movie, she has spooky eyes. And then at the end, when they make her the love interest and they tone her all the way down immediately.
All the way down.
I hated it.
They washed her off completely.
I hated it so much.
Her hair's soft and fluffy. She's wearing no makeup.
She looks
has
beautiful.
No contacts. She's not wearing any of the vampire makeup that everybody else is wearing. None of it.
She looks like a beautiful 1950s housewife at the end, except she's lounging on like a chaise lounge in the middle of like an abandoned castle, which is where she lives.
With leaves all over the floor.
With leaves, yeah. She doesn't have a maid. She has a panther, but no maid. So, but she looks beautiful. And, yeah, probably he's with his paw scraping stuff around, but like, my leg is so messy. But like, she looks so beautiful at the end, and it made me angry because she and everyone else in the movie had looked so ugly up until that point. So at the end, I was like, oh, you do know how to make a character look nice, an actress look nice, and you had just been on purpose not doing that the entire time.
Choosing not to. Yes, correct. Yeah.
And then, as you said, her costuming is insane. There's like a scene where she's got just like some random like ostrich feathers like stapled to her bosom.
And they're not like up. They're like straight out. They're straight out from her neck. So she has these like giant feathers that are like orbiting her face.
Which I get. If I could have giant feathers keeping people like 6 feet away from me at all times, I would wear the shit out of that.
That's fair.
But this looks like it's about to poke her in the goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
My
favorite part is when she has to do all that wire work in low-rise jeans and a crop top. And like
poor Bai Ling.
Like platform boots. Like she put on full beat for sneaking refugees out.
Yes.
Full beat. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and which reminds me, speaking of shoes, so there is a love story, question mark, between her and Detective Grant, so the Bokeem Woodbine character. Which makes no sense at all, and they don't seem to have any chemistry, and it's very weird. But the way that her character initiates that is she traps him in her house. She traps Detective Grant in her house with her panther, and he's like, "Is there any way else out?" And she's like, "Nope." She is wearing a robe. She walks up the stairs in, I shit you not, 6-inch clear lucite stripper heels, and I was like, oh, I am more impressed by this than any of the wire work you did.
If anyone could, Bai Ling could.
Absolutely, because she's how tall? She's got to be like tiny, right?
All faith in Bai Ling.
She is. Why doesn't Wikipedia tell me how tall she is? There's got to be like some pervert somewhere that wants to know how tall she is, like besides me. Why?
She was in an episode of Angel.
She was an angel. Who's she an angel?
She's in that episode where the warrior women come through a portal and they have that spine thing. And if you clip their spine off, then they become like docile.
This sounds vaguely familiar. That feels like exactly like the plot of an Angel episode.
And so she's been sneaking women out so they don't get clipped.
Oh, she's bisexual. When she first came to the U.S. before she became fluent in English, she was initially confused by people asking if she was bi, as in bisexual, as the word is homophonous. I don't know how to speak English either. Homophonous. A homophone with bi, her name,
Her name.
B-A-I.
Yeah.
After the miscommunication was clarified, she subsequently affirmed that she actually is bisexual and that gender is not relevant to who she's attracted to. Oh, I like you a little more now. Are you bi? Yes. Are you bi? Yes.
Just
I like
yes,
you so
whatever the question is. Sure.
Okay, so I can't see how tall she is, but she's like itty bitty. So
Yeah,
when
let's
she puts on those clear stripper heels, they're like solid. Like when I say stripper heels, I mean that like they're platform heels, and they have her walk up this staircase where she's not holding her hand on the railing, and she has to undo this robe that she has on, to toss it off, and then walk bare-assed up the stairs with her giant heels. You need a stunt woman for that. How did you do that without falling over and breaking your ankle?
She's 5'6".
Really?
She's taller than me. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you're travel size.
It's not that hard. No, but she can rock a heel. Like anytime she's in anything, she's like, okay, but I have one condition. I will
6-inch heels.
I will be memorable. And they're like, okay, let's do this. Cause she's in The Crow. She's the creepy sister.
I haven't seen The Crow.
She's got pretty eyes. Oh, okay. Well, then you need to see The Crow.
Apparently, I've heard it's a thing that I need to, as a goth adjacent person, it's a thing that I need to add to my list.
It is good. I mean, she's in it. She has the like overlined lip, where she has this huge lip, and she's like the creepy witchy goth sister.
Well, if she had like the incomprehensible makeup in more than one film, I wonder if Bai-Ling is behind it, because that would maybe explain why she looks different from every other character.
I have a feeling it's in her contract, because anything that she's in, you're like, oh, there she is. Every single time. And it feels like it's on purpose. She's got a brand.
Make me look insane. We're already
Done.
in a dystopian future.
Done.
No. Insane
Done.
compared to everybody else.
Yeah. My favorite part of this whole movie is you start out, okay, so the plot, which is not that it matters, but whatever, is Grant's partner gets killed. And then there's like this guy in like a pilgrim hat, like a flat hat.
Oh yeah. It's he's meant, I think he's meant to look like he's Jewish Orthodox. So it's the hat that an Orthodox Jewish man would be wearing.
This whole thing is trying to be an allegory. Also,
it's trying so hard.
Like leave the just forget that there's an allegory. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get it. They also didn't get it. It doesn't matter.
But see, that's the part that I liked about it. But sorry, continue. Go.
But my favorite part is this guy is clearly cross. But when he's not wearing the hat, they're like, who could that be? And then finally at the end, he like takes out the hat and puts it on, and they're like, my God, he's the bad guy. And you're like, yeah, I know. Anyway,
which rail thin 90-year-old man could this be? We've only met one. Could it be him?
But he's like, ha, ha, ha. He like evil laughs and jumps out the window after killing Grant's partner. And then he goes to the like headquarters to get debriefed, and they're like, okay, you need to go talk to your supervisor. And he's like, yeah, I was expecting that. And she goes, no, you weren't expecting this.
I was like, why is that line even like, this actress can't deliver the line? We could just do without the line. She could just point, be like, hey, go see that guy.
Well,
that would
while
have been fine.
Smoking. No, you weren't expecting this.
So I feel like after watching a second time, I feel like I understand the big pieces, but I don't understand like some of the logic. I'm sorry, any of the logic.
Well, wait. Okay, so he goes
it.
back and they're autopsying the girl that got killed. This is the part where they're like, she's like, I don't know, she got her neck ripped up or whatever. Like, we all know how she died. Who really gives a shit? And then they're like, we want you to see something. And they like look to the left, and there's a TV, and it's playing a video of a guy like lifting a truck.
That's one of my favorite scenes, because he is the most Eastern European uncle character. Like, I can't. He's just a really wiry, skinny guy in a wife beater who looks like his name is Pavel.
And like boxers, like they've stripped this man down, and he's lifting a truck, and then they like zoom in on his mouth, and they like lift his upper lip to see his fangs,
and they're huge. And
Grant goes, "You caught him."
There was one, and you found him. Thank you.
And they're like, no. This is part of like a group of people. And he's like, oh my God, how do we kill them all? And they're like, we don't. They're not bad people. They came forward. There's like a couple thousand of them in the world, as far as we can tell. And like they revealed their existence to us voluntarily. And now you have to figure out who's trying to like torpedo our new relationship by going around and murdering people.
Correct.
And he's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that because I'm an allegory for racism. And Adrian Paul is standing there the whole time. And he actually responds a couple times. And if you watch, he doesn't have fangs in until he does the reveal. Because he's like, something like, what is, if a Puerto Rican killed your partner, would you want to kill all Puerto Ricans? And he's like, Puerto Ricans don't bench press trucks or drink blood. And Adrian Paul has to go, they don't drink blood anymore. We've developed a synthetic substitute. And he's like, tell me you didn't just fucking say we. The best part of the whole movie, he goes, you haven't told him. And then he has to like flush his face.
I will say, you know what I do appreciate as someone who, I'll admit, has worn vampire fangs on, let's say, more than one occasion. What I appreciate is I feel like in most vampire like TV and movie properties, when they have fangs in, I only said a fang. When they have their fangs in, I feel like everyone reacts like they see it immediately. But as you and I know, when you have your fangs in, like a lot of times you're not opening your mouth wide enough for anyone to really see them. Like your fangs are like way on the left and right of your mouth. You'd have to really open your mouth wide for people, unless you have like a True Blood situation where you've got like the little snake bite fangs right in the front.
Yeah.
So like I do appreciate that, like you could be talking to Adrian Paul and you wouldn't know until he's like, 1 second, let me open my mouth. I'm sorry, I mumbled. Let me open my mouth nice and wide for you to see him. I was like, oh, cinema verite. I like it, real life.
Well, this kicks off the whole part where Gray and Grant, the best partner names in the history ever, have to team up to try to find the terrorist who is murdering women in order to keep the alliance from going through.
Correct.
So they immediately launch on what can only be described as a series of shenanigans that in no way ever solves the crime. The first thing they do is they're like, I don't know, Bai Ling. And so they go to Bai Ling's house. Lucy Westenra is her name. Because he's like, if anybody knows anything, she'll know.
But wait, I'm trying to... No, okay. So the reason... Okay, so that part I did figure out. So we've got, at the very, very beginning, the two human partners are hunting for a guy. And at first I thought they were just hunting for like a stolen van. But I think they're hunting for the stolen van because they think that the person driving the stolen van is this like serial killer. So I think they're like already aware of a serial killer. They don't know it's a vampire serial killer. They know that this one woman is missing. They go to this apartment. They find the missing lady like strung up upside down, being bled. And that's where they find Dr. Cross as the evil vampire, and the one guy gets killed. So then they're still hunting the serial killer, which, why is the NSA involved? But like, whatever, they're homicide cops now. So then like, I think they end up at Dr. Orlock, the psychiatrist, his apartment.
I always forget about this part, even though it's the best part because it has Adrian Paul on the skateboard.
It's so dumb. So I think what it is like they're informed that there is another woman murder and it matches like the other serial killer murders, and so that's why they are sent there. That's the part that I didn't get the first time. I was like, why? How did you guys end up at this other apartment? But it's like, hey, this murder matches the other one, so they end up at Dr. Orlock's apartment. There is a dead lady there, a dead college kid there, and they get Dr. Orlock's schedule book.
Calendar.
His appointment calendar. Thank you. I was like, the thing that I'm doing with my hand, which makes the shape of a book.
Which luckily had a leather cover because somebody threw it in a random furnace.
Yes. And so Adrian Paul has to pull it out with a blackened vampire hand. He has to pull it out of the fire. And in there we see Bai Ling's character, Lucy Westenra, because we see her name. And that's how we get to her. So she was a psychiatric patient of Dr. Orlock. And also she like went to the same nightclubs as him. Like that part, I'm like, okay, sure. I guess.
see him for therapy, and I also see him recreationally. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But Dr. Orlock is supposed to be one of the lieutenants, or because we got a little European flair, the lieutenants, and I was like, oh, lieutenant, one of the lieutenants of Dr. Cross. So Dr. Cross has two guys who are like his number one, number two guy. It's Dr. Orlock, and then the second one that's his number one, number two guy is the vampire that is the guy who wanted to be an actor.
Oh.
Yeah, which seems weird, right?
You got more out of this than I did.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you.
I check out. I'm like, ooh, yay, vampire shenanigans. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that's what that's all like, that's what I'm saying. Like the first time, that's all it was just lights and colors like coming at me too fast. The second time I watched it, I would watch for 5 minutes. I would pause, and then I would try to tell myself what just happened. And I would try to be like, okay, did it? I had to study and do homework to understand this movie. But I feel like having done that, I like what this could have been. I like I feel like they're two different movies. There's like the movie that they're like the plot, which I think is promising. And then there's like the lights and colors, which is not good. But then there's like so much shenanigans happening at my face that I'm like, I kind of like this. But they're not the same, but they're different movies. So we've got Dr. Cross and his two lieutenants. We've got Dr. Orlock, the psychiatrist, and then what's his name? Mr. Fucus or something? What's his name? Fusco. Mr. Fusco, whose first name I don't know, who is the vampire who wanted to be an Italian actor. Or an actor, it says in here on Wikipedia. So they are like the two guys who are with Dr. Cross, and they want humanity and vampires to be bros forever. And so we're like, okay, there's a murder at the home of one of these vampires that is pro integration. And we've got this, we think that the vampire killer is against integration. So we're like putting the pieces together that this guy is like trying to throw a wrench into the whole plan. And then we meet. So Bai Ling is like, I have an alibi. I was at a nightclub. Look at the stamp on my hand. And then like coincidentally, they find like a business card for the nightclub at the psychiatrist's office. And Bai Ling's like, yep, that's the nightclub I go to. Oh, would you like me to take you there? Cool. You're wearing way too much clothing, you guys, but I guess you'll figure that out on your own. And Bai Ling, that's when she puts on her plastic headdress with like the built-in ponytail in the back. She has clothing on. I don't remember what she's wearing because when the doors open into the nightclub, everyone is
straight
super
naked.
nude.
Yeah, that's where I was getting at.
They are the nudest nudes I've ever seen.
You're moving right along through like this is early 2000s. It probably came out on, I think it aired on Stars originally, and you're like, okay,
that feels correct.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, I think we're allowed to do nudity. And then they're like, what if we put it? Okay, but like, we don't want to worry about that the whole movie. So like, what if we stuck it all in one scene? And they were like, yeah, we could do that. And then they just made everyone naked in the nightclub.
My favorite part is, so when they open the door, there are two women standing there. One is like totally nude. The other one is wearing a very thin mesh shirt, like not even a regular mesh shirt, like thin form mesh, which makes her seem even more nude when you see her giant areolas like poking out through the mesh shirt. And I was like, what? I don't get any of the dialogue in this scene. There are naked men standing there with them, naked giant muscly men, and in a little nod to inclusivity, there is one male actor with dwarfism who is in the nightclub, and they just have him standing there in two separate scenes where I'm like, is he listening in on them? Does he work here? Is he important in some way? It was so weird. In one scene, he's literally, and he's not nude. I know he's wearing something black. I remember he had a black top on.
I think he's wearing like black hot pants.
Yeah, I think he was. But they just have him like standing against a wall like he's like a tiny bouncer. And I was like, okay, you know what? In the vampire nightclub, the vampire bouncer, he could have dwarfism. You don't know. He's got vampire strength. But also like, you hired a guy, and what's he up to?
I don't know that he works there. I think he's just hanging out. I don't know.
Like everyone else is like dancing in the nightclub.
You get distracted because immediately they find is it Boudreaux?
Yes, he's my favorite. He is my favorite in the whole. So the guy who runs the nightclub, the character's name is Boudreaux. He's played by an actor called John Durbin. And I don't know if I've ever seen John Durbin in anything else, but I want to.
Every time they hurt him, he's like, they shoot him. Like, you shoot him in the nuts at one point, and he's like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, you know what I appreciate is it was a choice, and it felt like it was entirely his choice. Yeah, John Durbin's choice. Because Beiling, so they're trying to get information out of Boudreaux because he's the guy who runs the nightclub, and he knows Dr. Orlock, and it turns out he knows the blonde guy.
The spirit
What's
of
his
the
name?
2000s.
Yes. Why can't I?
Mr. Frosted Tips.
Yes. Fleming?
Maybe.
Is it Fleming?
He's
Let me
the
see.
terrorist.
Is this so? Wikipedia says traitor government. Oh no, Fleming is the scientist. It's not Cross. It's not Grant. There's a guy named Calmet, but I
can't remember because we only say his name like once.
West.
Yeah.
West. He's West. West is
Okay.
the bad guy. Who's the actor who plays West is named Zen Martin Gesner. And he's from Van Nuys, California.
Okay, that checks out.
Oh, but he was born Zen Brandt Gesner? You changed your middle name? Your first name was Zen? Okay, cool. All right.
Which means the Frosted Tips probably just grew like that. And he's got like orange sunglasses.
Yes. Oh, it is that moment in 2001 fashion, as I said, where everyone just looks gross. They look dirty. I want to hit them with a hose. I just, I don't like it. So that is the only good thing about the naked actors is like, at least you don't look like you're covered in gel. There's nowhere to put the gel. You were just freeballing it. You were just living your life. So they're at the nightclub. They find Boudreaux, and Boudreaux is like, you are messing with things beyond your ken, forces beyond the veil. And Beiling is like, shut the fuck up, dude. You were born in Queens. And I was like, hey, where's this humor the rest of the movie? I like this. This is so good. And then the guy immediately changes to his actual, what I'm assuming is his actual natural speaking voice. And he's like, all right, guys, what up? And I was like, yay. Funny voices. Yay. So you're right. They're asking him about Dr. Orlock. And he's like, yeah, Dr. Orlock was going to have a meeting with West. So the guy who is for integration was going to have a meeting with the guy who's against integration. And Dr. Orlock seemed like really spooked and like he needed to like get in on this meeting and like he needed to stop something or like something was going to happen. And he wouldn't tell me. He was going to tell me after, but like, we don't know where Orlock is. So then he reveals this, I think, as part of the interrogation, or there's like an interrogation that happens at some point in this scene with Boudreaux. But as you said, they point a gun. The human officer, Grant, points a gun at one of the testicles of Boudreaux, and Boudreaux's like, oh no. Oh no, don't do that. Oh no. Have I been a bad boy? Oh no. And Beiling is like, please don't. Like, please do not do it. But she says it like, she doesn't say it like, please don't hurt him. She's like, I don't want to watch him have an erection. Like, please, I don't need to. Beiling does not need to see this today. Please don't make me watch this. And the guy's like, oh no. And so Bokeem Woodbine's character, and Mr. Detective Grant, is just like, violent in every single scene for no reason. And so he blows the guy's testicle away. And you're right. His response, Boudreaux's response is like, and I was like, no, I really liked you up until this point. And like, good acting choice, but also like, I feel unclean. I don't feel good having watched that. And then for whatever reason, like the Steve Grant character is like aiming for the next one. And I'm like, no, sir, you're not having the effect that you think you're having. He's not going to tell you anything. He's into this. Like, stop it. So then through happenstance, I don't really recall, we end up having Dr. Orlock has come back to the nightclub. I think he's going to talk to Boudreaux. I think this is him coming back to be like, let me tell you all the tea. Let me tell you what happened. And so we have Dr. Orlock popping in, and then we have West, the terrorist, there. And so the cops are like, like I see the two guys that I've been looking for. And then Orlock and West are like, peace out. And they both run different directions. We have like the two chase scenes. Orlock gets like into a car accident where part of his head pops off, which I guess can kill vampires in this universe. Like,
isn't that the part where they hit Adrian with the car and then he has to like pretend his bones are all coming back together again? And he's like,
correct. Yeah. Was this an opportunity for Adrian Paul to pretend that he knows how to pop and lock? Yeah. Did he do a good job?
It's fine.
No, he did not.
You know, you liked it.
I the first time I was like, what's he doing? What's going on there? And then only the second time was I like, oh, he thinks his bones are broken and he's trying to put them back where they belong. Because he literally is just popping and locking in his little suit for like a minute. And I was like, okay, all right, sure. I feel like everything Adrian Paul is in somehow forgets that he's a martial
Yeah.
arts guy. Have him do martial arts. He's very good at it. He's compelling to watch.
I know. They're like, what if I strapped you to a wire and put you on a skateboard? How about that? You want to do that? And he's like,
Yeah, and squeaked you
I
across
guess.
the floor.
Yeah, I mean, sure. You could have given him a sword, but that'd be too Highlander adjacent. So maybe they were like,
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know why.
You could have done more with his skill set, and instead they were just like, I don't know, we'll put you on some wires and we'll flip you upside down 6 times. You can flip any dumbass with some wires. This is Adrian Paul. He could be like, like he could do stuff. He could, do crane kick or whatever. He could do stuff. Like, let him do his stuff. Anything. And then, Dr. Grant. No, Mr. Grant. Dr. Grant, like from Jurassic Park. The Detective Grant. Sorry. I had to get my first part. At least I got the second part correct. He goes to chase West, and West falls off and gets stuck on a stake. And he's like, yeah, that's right. I killed him. And they're like, no, you didn't. And they look down and the guy's gone. And I'm like, how did he get himself off? Without anybody hearing, wouldn't you have heard like a squelch and like a
he's like deep on this thing too. He'd have to like grab it. It'd be all slick. Because I think it's
correct. Yeah, he
raining?
falls. Yeah, he falls off. He falls off a high building onto a slightly lower building, onto the spire on the roof of the slightly lower building, and it pierces all the way through his belly, and he's like, So like, how did he flip himself? It doesn't fucking matter. This movie doesn't care. But the best part is, when Grant is chasing him, he almost falls off the building because it's the future. We don't have OSHA. We don't have railings, so he almost falls off the building. And Bai Ling has to pull him up, and the guy's like, there's no way you're strong enough. And she's like, did you not see my spooky contacts and my straight up pointing crazy hair? I'm a vampire. And she pulls him up with one hand. And it's somehow like the fakest looking thing in this very fake looking movie. And I was like, come on, you guys. Like, I feel like that stunt is not that hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you could have done that stunt, but like, whatever. But when she pulls him up, he's like, oh. And I was like, no, I don't believe any of this. And it feels so weird. Like, I just... It literally goes from I hate all vampires, I want to kill all of them, to like, hey, tiny Asian lady. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I need an extra step in the middle between I hate all vampires and I want to fuck one real bad. Like, I need something more than she picked me up, and that's kind of erotic to me because I'm a big, strong black man and she's a tiny little Asian woman, and that's different. And I'm like, okay, you guys, there's so many like racial allegories happening, like being thrown at my face, which I don't know how to deal with. But yeah, so they will chase West. West, as you said, gets poked in the belly. Then he gets away.
And Orlok got away.
Then,
that's right.
Orlok is dead. Remember, he's one of the head. Yeah, well, he got away to heaven or hell, I imagine. His head pops right off.
Whoopsie doodle.
So, whoopsie doodle. So, and I don't remember why at this point, but I think isn't this when they're trying to find Fusco, because they're like, he's the other leader. He's the other like leader in the pro integration movement. I never know
why they go to find the guy, like the theater actor guy. That's where I always lose the plot. I'm like,
yeah,
because they have to travel to him. He is far away.
Yes. I think what I got from the second watching is that their thought was, people who are leaders in the pro-integration movement are being targeted. So Cross is the one in charge of the whole movement. And so that's why we've got like the killings to make the movement look bad. And then Dr. Orlok was trying to stop the killings, and then he gets killed while running away from West. And so the next, like the number 3 guy in the movement is Fusco. We're going to go find Fusco. But I will agree with you that nothing about the Fusco character, or even really the Dr. Orlok character, who we get very little time with, nothing about either one of them says, I am a high up person in this, like, this social movement trying to change our culture and integrate with human culture. Like, nothing, like the one guy's a psychiatrist and the other guy is like a wannabe actor. Like, that's all that we know about them. And so it's weird to be like, oh yeah, in their spare time, their hobby is human vampire integration. And I'm like, oh, okay, like I believe you, but you've given me like nothing other than you telling me that. So, but I believe that's why they go to him, because they're like, he's the next target. He's the next person that would be targeted by this person who's trying to ruin the whole movement. It would be him. And you're right. They go to his mother's grave because so Adrian Paul can make a joke about, Italians. Because this movie about like race relations is just like, what if we throw in an Italian joke? Italians, they love their mothers. So of course he spends like all of his time at his dead mother's grave. And I'm like, that could have been a whole fucking book. You could have given me something really kind of like fun and interesting with him, like watching his family while like he ages. Well, they age and he doesn't, but like whatever, fine. So they go to the tomb and he's not there. And then they're like, wait a minute, doesn't he have a sister who owns an abandoned theater? And didn't this guy always want to be an actor? Oh, I bet he's hamming around in the abandoned theater. And like, lucky guess he is. And I was like, okay, all right, fucking sure. But he's also like not a bad actor. His character is annoying as fuck and I wanted to stake him. But like, he's a very talented, what do you call it? Like impressionist, this actor. So the actor is, I don't know, Fusco. William, his name is Hootkins? His last name is Hootkins. I'm sorry.
That's a good last name.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he died at 57. Aww. What happened to you, William Hootkins?
Probably died.
This is important to me now.
2001.
He was so embarrassed. His last name was 2005. What did he die of? Oh, he had pancreatic cancer.
R.I.P. Fusco. Hootkins.
Oh, poor man. William Hootkins. Oh. So, he was born in Dallas, Texas. Okay, I can't be on this page anymore. I will read his whole life story. Okay, so poor William Hootkins. So, he plays Fusco, the actor who wanted to be a vampire. The vampire who wanted to be an actor. Wow. That was actually the plot of an episode of Dracula, the TV series. I just went to a different place. So, he like for whatever reason this vampire character just starts like speaking in impressions of like Marlon Brando at one point, and I think he does a couple other like impressions, and then he does that like he does this one that like I know I've seen this actor but like I don't know what his name is impression where it's like the English actor from like he's like a big guy with like a little teeny tiny mustache and he's always in like black and white things and he's like yes no that guy the guy I'm talking
Vaguely.
about they parody him in The Simpsons so often because that is my only source of cultural reference, but like I know that they're parodying like a real person who was a real person. Anybody in the audience who's over the age of 39 probably knows who that is and can maybe send a real smart-ass mean comment to our YouTube page, and then I'll know. Then I'll learn. That's how I learn, from mean YouTube comments. So he's like doing an impression of that guy. He's doing an impression of Marlon Brando. And I'm like, I guess I get where you're going because he wants to be an actor and he does impressions. But like also this is annoying as fuck to watch. Like I need you to stop. So they like smack him around until he stops being weird. And they start talking to him about what's going on. And he's like, oh, I heard somehow, I don't remember how, I heard that the anti-vampire integration people are smuggling something and they're going to be doing it like tonight. And also Biling's character, Lucy Westenra, is involved. And Joaquin Woodbine is like, yes, my racism has been
rewarded.
Has been validated. Yes, correct. I'm not attracted to her at all. Ignore the little tent in my pants. I'm right. So they realize that like this note in Dr. Orlock's day planner that said like something P is actually it's P for peer. And they're like, oh, of course, it's the whatever the hell peer, like lot number 32 or something. There's like a number. They're like, this is a location, and so they're doing it tonight. And they think that the anti-integration vampires are smuggling guns in for like a vampire on human war, where obviously you would need guns. It's not like they're impervious to bullets.
Well, humans aren't impervious to bullets.
I guess that's true. If I had to bite everybody, that takes work. If I can just stand there with an Uzi, people. I guess that's
correct.
Biggity bang.
Which I don't know why they need to, because we didn't talk about it, but they have a whole vampire town, Serenity. And at a certain point, we go down into like the police headquarters in Serenity, which, as far as I can tell, Mr. Gray is the only police officer.
Correct. It's just
and
Adrian Paul.
There is
He's
like
the whole police force.
Matrix style weapon room with just rifles and shit lined up, grenades, rocket launchers.
Yeah, but maybe those are all designed to be anti-vampire, because the one guy makes a comment at one point where he's like, it would just be a waste of money to use this very expensive silver bullet on you dumb human, when I could use a regular
walks him
bullet.
through, he's like, wow, you got a lot of weapons here. And he's like, yeah, but they're all loaded with silver and I wouldn't shoot you with them because it would cost too much. You can still kill people
It's
with
not
them.
cost effective. Absolutely.
It would just,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they assume that West is being very, cost efficient. He's getting all the stuff like in bulk, and he's getting the regular bullets, not the vampire bullets, so that he can start a vampire human war.
Yeah.
As you do. So they go to the pier. Bai Ling is wearing her next outfit, which, as you say, she's supposed to be subtle, and it's like the most. Whatever you are mentally picturing when I say the most, that is half of what she is wearing. She is wearing all of her clothing, just all of it, just like feathers and fur and like leather and like pleather and mini skirt and like super heel, like everything, just so much, all of it. And again, she's the only one wearing the stupid fucking contacts. I feel so bad for you, Bai Ling. You are a trooper. So we have the human cop, and he's like, aha, I knew that you were a traitor. And she's like, I couldn't tell you because West didn't want me to tell you because I don't know reasons. I couldn't tell you. And then it turns out that they're not smuggling guns in. They're trying to smuggle vampires out because they see that this integration thing is like not going to work.
And Gray was in on it. Yes. So that's why he's been not helping.
Correct.
Get to this realization because he was trying to hide that they're sneaking people out. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like that when Gray knows if he's been part of it the whole time or if he finds out later, I feel like is not the clearest. But like, again, that's like everything in the movie.
Well, when they're talking to Fusco and he mentions that they're sneaking something, he's like, maybe we don't go check this out. Like,
oh no, that's true.
Can you let me handle this? Like, I'm going to go handle it because he knows what's happening. So he's just...
That's right. Yeah. And then the human police officer behind the vampire officer's back calls the NSA headquarters and is like, hey, can I have all of your SWAT teams? But don't send your trigger happy guys and don't make them do anything without me telling. And the NSA is like, abso-fucking-lutely. And then they hang up the phone and they're like, give us our craziest bastards. Give us the most shell-shocked guys. Those are the ones we want. And so they end up there at the pier. We find out that they're trying to hide the vampires and like send them, like smuggle them out. And then for reasons that are never unclear, like the NSA guys are just so trigger happy that they start a giant vampire human gunfight. And it is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I usually fast forward through it because it's just bad wire work. It's just
oh, my favorite part. Okay, my favorite bad. I did not enjoy it, but like my favorite part is they have West. So this is the bleach blonde spirit of 1999 to 2001 anti-integration vampire. He has shooting a gun. He is floating in the air because sometimes they can do that. Not always. Don't worry about it. He's floating in the air and he's shooting at people. And he's moving backwards as he's shooting at people. And what it kind of looks like, and I don't know if this is what they intended or it's just how it came out. What it looks like is like the force of the bullet that he's like, as he's using the gun, is like tooting him backwards. It's like he's farting along backwards in the air by the shockwave of his own gun.
I mean, he could be. Who knows? Who knows?
And I laughed so fucking hard because, as you say, it's not like he's being thrown backwards. It's not like he is flying backwards through his own vampire flying powers. It literally is just like little tooty toots through the air. And I was like, what? Why, sir? Why are we tooty tooting through the, like, what is the point of all this? So, but it's like everyone shooting at everyone. It's just all over the place. Bai Ling gets shot. And I swear to God, when she gets shot, a ribbon of blood comes out of her. And I need to make clear that I'm not being poetic. I mean, it looks like a red ribbon has been tacked to her back. And they went, yeah, that's blood, Bai Ling. And she's like, I have blood on my mouth also. I am dying. I was like, what? Do you bleed ribbons? Is that a new vampire thing? Like,
anyone could. It would be Bai Ling.
Oh, no, she sells it. She sells it. I believe that Bai Ling is bleeding ribbons. So she gets injured, but not permanently. Some of her blood gets on human detective Steve Grant. I keep calling him Stephen Grant, but that's Moon Knight. It's confusing. So some of her blood gets on him, but he's like not injured. But for whatever reason, he's like, oh, I might turn into a vampire because some of her blood was like on my coat, which is 6 layers of clothing above my skin. Yeah, but they're like through like 6 layers of clothing. Contagious. I don't.
She's like, no, my blood. And I think the captions always say, smell my blood.
It does say smell my blood. What is she actually saying?
She just says, no, my blood, or like, watch out. Like, no, my blood.
Okay. That is the one part I didn't get. That is one of the many parts I did not get in either viewing, because you're right. The captions say
Yeah.
"smell my blood," and he goes, "I don't care." And I was like, why is she saying "smell my blood"? Why is he saying "I don't care"? Does he not care about this? Does her blood stink? I believed that vampire blood in this universe had a stank
maybe.
to it. I'm ashamed of my stinky blood. And he's like, "I don't care, baby. I love you." Love story forever. So she's injured. He's like, maybe I'll be a vampire. And then it turns out that he's immune to vampire turning.
Yeah, 20% of the population is naturally immune.
Correct. Yeah. They repeat that over and over again. And I was like, if that were interesting, I would care. But like, it's not. So I don't. And then I'm trying to remember. So they end up.
She has to go into surgery. And I think Grant has to give her like a transfusion. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So not Grant. Gray.
Adrian
Paul's
Gray
character
gives her a transfusion.
Yeah, because we see him. He comes out of presumably he comes out of just having given her blood, and he turns around to the camera / Steve Grant, because he's mad at him for bringing in the whole fucking SWAT team, and he has the spooky eyes, and he's like mad, and I was like, oh, is this? Do you get the spooky eyes when you're mad? Does that mean Bai Ling has been pissed off this entire movie? Does he get it because he's like hungry now? Which means that maybe Bai Ling was hungry the whole movie. I'm so stuck on, what did you guys think you were doing?
Maybe it's voluntary. Maybe it's literally her style choice.
Yeah, it goes with my outfit, my spooky.
This will match my eyeshadow. I mean, I would. Let's be real. If I could do it, I would probably be the Bai Ling. Everyone's like, you gotta turn back to the chill eyes, and I'd be like, no, I don't. These are my chill eyes.
These are my chill eyes.
When do they meet at the bar? And Adrian has the little vial that's like the blood substitute, and he takes he drinks that, and then he takes a shot of whiskey.
Yes, I think that's around this point in the movie,
because this is when we get the flashback, his flashback,
which I appreciated. So this is like the nugget where I was like, oh, this could have been.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep watching this movie, because I'm like, if I could I need someone, I don't care, A24, whoever wants to watch this, watch whoever the popular vampire guy is right now, watch it and be like, okay, I think this could be something.
This could be something.
Because I think this could be something if we just put it in the right hands.
Yeah, because enough people are like vampire fans, and then enough people are World War II movie fans, and I know that there's been at least one World War II vampire movie. I know that's been a thing, but what we don't have outside of The Breed is a World War II vampire in the modern world who is struggling with what he did and the loss of his family, oh, there's so much there. There's so much you could do with that. That's compelling. So yeah, we have a flashback. Human Detective Grant is like, sorry, I called the NSA on you while you were smuggling vampires out who were afraid of being persecuted for who they are. I'm a black man. I don't know if anyone remembers that. So I myself understand racism as a concept. Oops, sorry, I was speciesist against you. My bad. And then Adrian Paul's like, we've all done things we regret. And then it's a flashback. And I was like, yay. And so it's Adrian Paul was a Polish Jew during World War II. He tried to escape from the Nazis with his wife and his daughter. They run through the woods. Wife and daughter freeze to death. Adrian Paul is about to freeze to death. And then who should appear in his giant Orthodox Jewish man hat, which there's got to be a name for that. I'll figure it out. But he shows up like a fucking ghost out of nowhere, and he's like, hey, do you want to die? Or, you know what would be fun, Adrian Paul? What if you go and bite some Nazis? And Adrian Paul's like, I would like that. And then it's the stupidest biting scene ever, because it literally goes Dr. Cross being like, hey, what if we kill some Nazis? And then I don't think Adrian Paul even gets a chance to respond, but he tilts his head like, all right, you can start chomping right here. And I'm like, you don't even, you're facing the other way. You don't even, the guy is like, hey, do you want to kill Nazis? And Adrian Paul just assumes, okay, I guess you must be a vampire here to bite me. Whatever. Okay, sure.
I think he looks down at his daughter.
Yeah.
I think that's why his head falls.
How do I know that
sideways.
The guy? Oh, is that what he's doing?
I think he's looking down at his daughter.
Okay. See, that makes more sense as a choice, because
she's supposed to be dead and she's blinking. Did you notice that?
No.
She gets fake snow on her eyelash. I've seen it so many fucking times, Meg. And she gets fake snow on her eyelashes, and she's like, Like try not to get the fake snow off, but her eyelids flutter.
God. I will say I did notice that they tried to make her eyebrows look like they were frosted, like
Or was she old?
Oh, hypercube. But the way that they tried to make it look like individual parts of her eyebrows had frost or frostbite on them meant that they didn't have it like one big frosted area. And the way that they tried to achieve that effect was like a little bit of frost, a little bit of no frost, and then no frost. So it just looked like she had like painted little bleachy stripes on her eyebrows. And I was like, bitch, what? I was like, is this club fashion? And then I was like, oh no, it's air quote frost. Oh, they just did it. Why is frost so hard?
I don't know.
Why is frozen so hard for makeup artists to do? It's like the final challenge. They always fuck it up in new and hilarious ways. But yeah, it's just a weird series of gestures because Adrian Paul is sitting, leaning, I think, against a tree. He's got dead wife and dead daughter in front of him. We have Dr. Cross come from behind him being like, hey, you want to eat some Nazis? And then Adrian Paul's head flops to the side. So his neck is exposed. And then he like has I'm terrified eyes like way before the guy's mouth comes anywhere in the zone of his neck. So he's just like with his head flopped, like staring like, like a silent stare. And then the guy comes in and bites him. And I was like, this is just, when you're just like, I just wish a director had been like, okay, how about you guys watch it? Watch what you did. You see how it looks. What if you didn't do it that way?
Not good, you guys. Maybe you look scared after he touches you. Like, let's wait till we feel the touchies, and then we look angry.
Just like I feel like I'm the vampire victim scene. There's 1,000 different examples of how to do it right in a short scene or a long scene. Like I feel like you have your pick of like it shouldn't be that hard. It's just the guy comes in, he like moves your neck or you move your neck to be like, come on down to Chowtown, and then he bites you and then you're like, oh no, that hurts. Like I feel like it's not that hard, but this was just like this felt like kabuki theater. Like no one is talking, but like eyes are moving, and I was like, I feel weird about all the things that are happening on screen. Like I don't get it. But anyways, he has this whole flashback, and then he turns into a vampire. He goes into a bar, and the Nazis are like, oh no, a Jew, let's kill him. Because, he
gets the most metal line. He's like, my daughter's body was frozen to the ground and they were in here celebrating.
Yeah, it is a good line. It's a good line.
Yeah. And then he's like, I think I'm going to straight up murder all of them with my teeth.
And he has his spooky eyes. Yeah, and he has... Oh, I haven't murdered anyone with my teeth. Okay. He, forever night. So he has his spooky contacts in that scene. He kills all the Nazis with his teeth. They shoot at him and he's like, and it doesn't do anything to him. And I was like, okay, I do like that vampire trope where he's like, oh no, look, the bullets went right through me. So he's like, yeah, we all regret stuff. And I was like, why would you regret that? Like, do you like, it's not even like they were like, portrayed as German soldiers who just were like conscripted into the army, and they're sitting at the bar drinking, and then he comes in and like kills them. And maybe these are part of the ones that are doing something to him specifically. Maybe these are just soldiers who are not like particularly involved, or but like the second they see him, the soldiers start shooting him in the face in a bar. Like they're the most cartoony Nazis out of like all Nazis. Not that I'm defending Nazis. I need the audience to understand I'm not defending Nazis, but I'm just saying like if you wanted to like add nuance or whatever, they don't.
They're slam dunk evil guys.
Slam dunk.
You killed some really shitty people, and he's like, God, I feel bad about it. I've watched it so many times. I actually have headcanon for this. So when he's like,
please,
he's like, we've all done things we regret. I think it's more like I regret saying yes to Cross because I got the chance to go
a vampire,
like enact my revenge, but we've only had a blood substitute recently. So like, the Nazis were pretty justified, but like it wasn't only the Nazis. So
no, that makes sense. I think that's the best interpretation of that line, because later in the scene, Grant will ask him like, "What does blood taste like? Is it like a drug? Does it make you high?" And I have to say, I got to give props to Adrian Paul, because the way that he turns and looks at Grant is the most you stupid motherfucker I have ever seen on anybody's face. Like it is like you clearly know so little. Like if you knew anything about anything, you wouldn't even ask that question. I know how stupid you are by the fact that you're even asking that of me? Like, how could you you don't even know what you don't know, you asshole. So I was like, that's beautiful. Like, that's such a, like, Adrian Paul, like, to his credit, like, when he needs to turn it on, like, he can do it.
It's a good moment. There's every once in a while in this movie, there's a moment where you're like, all right, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, that's the confusing thing about this, is like, there are moments when, like, the acting is very good, or like the plot is emotionally resonant, and you're like, oh, what the fuck happened with the rest of this movie? Like, you clearly, like, you could pull that when you wanted to, and then the rest of the movie you're like Adrian Paul on a skateboard. But all right, so they get back together. And then I don't remember why the vampire Adrian Paul goes back to his office and to see Dr. Cross, and then Dr. Cross is like, actually, I was evil the whole time. And
we've missed
bites
the
him.
whole culmination of the plot where Bokeem Woodbine's character. So surprise, girls have still been going missing while they've been very incompetently
correct
investigating this series of crimes. And so the director of the NSA, or like detective, God, why can I not remember the part? Grant's boss,
yes.
His daughter has gotten kidnapped. And he's like, oh, well, now it's serious because my daughter got kidnapped. So, like, maybe I need to get these people to actually investigate this crime. And so he pulls him aside and he's like, hey, so we've been developing an anti-vampire pathogen. And if we release it, it will kill all the vampires. And here's the shady ass doctor we've been having develop it. Anyway, we're bringing you in on this because you're human and we know you're on our side because all humans hate vampires. And he's like, oh, okay, cool.
Correct.
And then surprise, Twitcho Changeo, it's actually an anti-human pathogen. And they're like, oh my God, it must be Cross. Oh no. And I don't remember how we get from like, oh no, it's actually going to kill humans. And then I think he runs back to tell Cross. He's like,
he goes to tell Cross, that vampires are actually in danger.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, because so human Stephen Grant. This is where they're in front of the fountain with all the running statues. Where I was like, well, that's not in America. So human Detective Grant tells vampire Detective Gray about the virus that's going to kill all vampires, and he's like, oh yeah, I guess we humans are terrible. Oopsie doodle. So Gray, the vampire Gray, goes to see Dr. Cross to tell him that the humans are like double crossing him and they're going to be trying to kill all vampires, and like we gotta figure out like how to save people in next moves and shit. And that's where Dr. Cross is like, actually, I've been evil the whole time. And he bites Adrian Paul and like sucks all of his blood out. And I guess you need like so much blood in your body to not be feral and crazy. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool. I like that. Like, normally I don't like a feral vampire because I'm like, if you want feral, like, give me a werewolf.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I want vampires to be in control. But I like this in this movie. I like that it's like, okay, like we have the substitute, which keeps us like topped up at normal. But the second we get like below half a tank, we go kooky bananas crazy. And I'm like, okay, I like that as like a thing he has to struggle against. So yeah, so Dr. Cross bites him and then locks him in a vampire prison cell, which is made out of plexiglass, the world's strongest substance.
I think he says it's a plastic polymer compound or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
He's
sure.
like,
I'm sorry.
He's like,
right.
because bars are not strong enough to hold us. So this is what and he's like, oh, you only have 2. And he's like, actually, I never use them because like vampires are not bad guys.
Yeah, we don't commit crimes.
We don't commit crimes at the beginning. And then he's in there. So of course, Grant has run back to tell them.
Correct.
To, I think, get more information. I forget what, but he's the one who runs in and he's like, oh no, all the human test subjects are dead. Because when you first go in there, there's all these human test subjects like strapped into bubbles and stuff. Yeah. And then that's when we get the big reveal. And he's like, oh shit.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because he talks to Fleming, who is the human scientist. And Fleming is like, you know how I've been wearing black glasses this whole time? It's because I'm evil. And I was like, oh no. So it turns out that he wants to be turned into a vampire he's the one that has been working on the virus. Wow, antivirus, like in Conspiracy Theory. He's been working on the virus, and he's the one that he told the humans that it was an anti-vampire virus, but really it's an anti-human virus. And he's like, I'm going to be safe because my good buddy Dr. Cross is going to turn me into a vampire. And then there is a kind of a good scene where Dr. Cross comes in and he's like, hello. And it's like a little homoerotic between him and Dr. Fleming. They're both like elderly, sort of evil scientists. And they're doing like the Ger trick where they're like almost nose to nose Eskimo kissing in their scene. They're very, very close together. And it's like, hey, friend. Hey, how you doing, friend? Nosy, nosy, nosy. And I was like, hey guys, is this going to turn into a different kind of movie? Because like I'm down for it, but like, give me a little warning first. And so he's like, so Dr. Fleming is like, hey, I've got the bad cop all tied up, and we can release this anti-human virus as soon as you bite me and make me not a human, because that would be good. And Dr. Cross is like, I did tell you that you would never suffer disease or injury or pain ever again. And he bites him on the neck. And he's like, you're dead now. You're never going to suffer. I didn't lie. And I'm like, well, I mean, I think he's facing, fear and death right now. But okay, sure. I mean, yeah, if okay, you're not lying, whatever. So, but I was like, oh, I like a little verbal double cross. So then Dr. Cross takes Mr. Human Grant and takes him to the plastic prison cell where we have Detective Gray, the vampire, and his eyes are all kooky spooky, and he's like clawing at the walls. He's like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah. I'm so vicious and feral. Rah, rah, rah." And I was like, oh, Adrian Paul, this 1940s suit, and like it's a scene that like. The whole vampire like fighting against themselves scene, that I love that. I love that so much. That's like
have
a
I watched
trope.
this scene many times more than I've watched the rest of the movie?
Oh no, sure, for research. It's research.
Maybe,
yeah, absolutely.
because of course there's
We're
two
scientists.
cells with a very slowly rising barrier in between them, and he's like, I've set it to maximum slowness so that you will die slowly.
It's like, why would that even
Why
be a
would it
thing?
be so
Why would you
slow?
have two prison cells with a slow plastic gate in between them? It makes no sense. It's funny as hell. And Adrian Paul is like, rah, 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 like scratching at he's like a kitty cat. He's like at the wall, and he's trying to get out of the cell. And then when the little plastic gate opens up, he smells human Steve Grant's blood. And he's like, oh, that smells delicious. And so he gets over to the human guy's side. We see that like close up on the neck with like the one neck vein like bouncing around. And then we have Adrian Paul be like, no, I got to be in control of myself. And he like smashes himself against the plastic wall as hard as he can. And Dr. Cross is like, oh, if only this were not a prison cell made specifically to contain vampires. And Adrian Paul's like, but I'm Adrian Paul, not a regular vampire. I know ninjutsu. And he's like, rah, 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 and he like kicks at the plastic, and he breaks it. He fucking breaks it open. And he like lands on top of Dr. Cross, and he has, in all the previous vampire biting scenes, you see nothing. In this scene, he has like actual flesh colored fucking rubbery goop or whatever in his mouth, and he like rips it off the guy's neck. And I was like, holy shit. The rest of the movie, you see nothing. The rest of the movie, the blood is all clearly light purple Kool-Aid, because that is what it's clear, and it's like vaguely a color, but it's not red, and it's not even brown. It is fucking purple. It looks like nothing. In this one scene, he is ripping something off the neck of the actor playing Dr. Cross and sucking blood out of it. And I was like, holy shit, Adrian Paul, what? What is happening right now? And he's like so Stephen Grant, the Bokeem Woodbine, is like, what? And then Adrian Paul's like, go, and I'm like, rah, 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 rah. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's running out, and I don't remember how they end up in a fight scene with Dr. Cross, who like comes back to life and snaps Adrian Paul's neck, and then
I think he stabs Adrian Paul in the back or something. Like he gets him off somehow,
it's a
and
whole
then
thing.
All I remember is they shoot him, and he's like, "You gotta kill me with that." And then Adrian Paul sticks a grenade in his torso.
inside his belly. They had no special effects budget until this
Yeah.
final scene, and then they suddenly had enough to do chunk of flesh coming off the neck and enough to do fake stomach that we're gonna throw a grenade inside. And then when he explodes, it is the fakest CGI I've ever seen. It's all computer generated. There's like nothing. And then you see Dr. Cross's head on the ground and like his hand, and it is the most I just painted this out. You were wearing like a green sleeve and we just painted out your
Yeah.
sleeve, and his hand is like, blinking moving my fingers, twitch, I'm dead. And so the day is saved. And apparently, like in the background where we don't see, they find the NSA director's daughter like in a closet or something. They just find wherever she is.
Yeah,
She's
it's
fine.
fine.
Don't worry about it. And then now there's peace between humans and vampires, and now we're all friends, and we're gonna have a TV show where we fight crime
And
together.
in the meantime, Grant has fucked Lucy Westenra out of her
Yeah,
hair
we don't
gel.
have to talk about that.
The sex scene.
Oh God, it's the worst.
They were like, "Can we get them both face forward to the camera?" And they were like, "I think we can make that work." And they're like, "Can you guys just move? Like, look at both of you. Look at the camera, dead-eyed stare at the camera, and then just make
I hated
rhythmic
it.
motions." And they were like, "Together," and they were like, "Doesn't have to be together. You can do whatever you
Nope.
want. It's fine."
I know we've been spoiled because obviously we've had the Forever Night sex scene treatment, and Ger is an absolute pro. But I have to say, this is hands down the worst sex scene I've ever seen on so many different levels for all the reasons. And the main reason is, as you said, their bodies don't appear to be in the same dimension as each other. I realize that there are things in this world I do not know, but I feel like generally the genitals should be sort of near each other, or another orifice that a genital might like interact
All I can
with.
think about is they're on this chase lounge in an abandoned castle with leaves all around, and it's definitely open on 3 sides.
Correct.
So this is the nastiest upholstery I can ever think of being naked on.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This is covered in mold, and then so they will zoom in on them having sex, and then they will zoom out to like a dying black rose that will drop a couple of like leaves off the stem, and then back to them, and then back to the dying flowers, and there's like weird late 90s club music happening, and it's a lot, but like. As you said, so they're on a chaise, like, and it's not very big. He is a giant man. She is a tiny woman. No parts of their bodies are connecting in a way that I think makes sex. Like, I don't like when people are like, we haven't technically had sex. We just did whatever. I don't think they technically had sex. I think this is what happens when you did not technically have sex, because I don't think any innie and any outie connected in a way that made like a connection, that made like a click. I don't think they snapped together like Lego pieces in any kind of a way. And then they do sort of kiss a couple of times, but it feels like, when you're watching animals have sex on like an Animal Planet program, and you're like, okay, that's what that looks. Okay. All right. You're just going to bite her a little bit to move her into position. That's what lions do. Is that what you're doing? Is that what's happening? Is this how you make a wildebeest? Like, what is this? Why does your kissing seem so uncomfortable? And then at the very end of the movie, when they make her look like a 1950s housewife, they will kiss again, and she's like purposefully kissing everywhere that's not his mouth, and it feels less like an expression of like sexual interest, and I'm kissing you around your neck to be like coy or whatever. It feels less like that and more like, I don't want to kiss your face anymore. So where haven't I kissed? I guess I could kiss over here. I could kiss over there. What if I kiss over here? And I'm like, even that is somehow less weird than the things that were happening during that sex question mark scene. I was less upset by the everyone naked and hanging out in the goth nightclub scene than them being mostly clothed and trying to fuck their elbows on that couch. Like, it felt like I mean, I feel like this is the one time when you need an intimacy coordinator to show up and be like, could you maybe be closer though? Could you maybe be less comfortable? I feel like you're too comfortable. You're too comfortable in the scene because you're nowhere near each other. And the couch is not really big enough for that to look visually like something is happening. It's I feel like this is what happens when you don't have a sex ed class. Like, I feel like if you don't have a sex ed class and then you're like, film a sex scene, you'd be like, he puts his dick near her nose, and you'd be like, no, that's not, people don't do that. That's not how you make a baby. That's not how that happens. He puts his finger in her elbow. No, man, that's not where the baby comes from. Like, it's so upsetting that like halfway through I was like, do I not understand? And I was like, no, I think I'm right. I think they're wrong. Because I don't think this is pleasurable for anybody. I really...
This is more than I have ever thought about this scene in my entire life.
It's wrong. It's
like, I
so
know it happens, but I'm
wrong.
always like, man, I think I fast forward through it. I'm like, it's the weird sex scene. Okay, then we move on.
I will never move on. I think I'm stuck in that moment. I live here now. At one point, she's like biting his lip and like hanging off of it, and he's like just kind of letting it happen to him. That's what this feels like. It feels like the sex scene in the movie happened to them, and then the watching happened to me. None of us
nobody participated.
We just
no.
We just had to see it.
So overall, are you happy you've seen this movie now?
You know what? Yeah. Because I find the Holocaust victim vampire who gets to have his moment of being a righteous hero, but like then like needs to just keep living and doesn't like it, and like has the trauma. He's a character that has a traumatic backstory that actually seems to matter and affect him. And like he understands about persecution as a minority because he was persecuted as a minority while he was alive, and now he sees this happening all over again, coming down the tracks at him in his new minority that he's part of. And you can see why he is so compelled to help the other vampires, and why he wants integration to happen, in that like he wants everyone to like be safe, but like he's seen what happened in the past, and so he's extra wary about what might happen in the future. And actually, you get a little speech from Dr. Cross when he's doing his big like villain speech, where he basically like gives the same motivation that like Adrian Paul's character has, where he's like, hey, every time a dominant civilization meets a minority, it's the minority that gets crushed every single goddamn time. I don't want us to be crushed. I don't want to kill all humanity, because all of civilization would collapse. Like, we need... I don't want to kill like like everyone except for 4,000 people on the face of the earth. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But if we're all the same, because that's what so the virus will make people sick, and the cure to the virus is made out of vampire blood. And as you said, when we talked about this like before the recording, you were like, I think that the cure turns them into vampires, and I think that's accurate. After
because they have a blood substitute, so they don't need people. They don't need humans.
They don't need humans, but they don't want to kill them, because then there'd be like no one to run things. But this way, other than I guess the 20% that can't be turned into vampires, or 25%, whatever it was, but like all the 80% or 75%, all of them will be sick. They won't have a choice. They'll have to become vampires, and then they can't discriminate against us because we'll all be the same thing. And I'm like, oh, if you think people can't discriminate against the same thing that they are, friend,
surprise,
friend, like, let me introduce you to the rest of the goddamn world. But I like it as the motivation for this doctor. And then like, I like that Adrian Paul's character has those same concerns, but is like trying to fight for a better world for everyone, instead of making all of humanity sick and become vampires, because he knows that like that's not like he sort of had a choice in doing it, but he regrets making that choice. But if like everyone is sick and it's either vampire blood or die, like then you're taking that choice away from everybody. I like that there's something there. There's like a compelling nugget in this turd sandwich. And like the Adrian Paul scenes when he's remembering that trauma that he went through and when he's being informed by that trauma, like he does a really good job. I think he does a better job in this, even though he has less screen time than when he's in Tracker and Highlander and everything else. But like I think when he's allowed to have those moments, it is surprisingly compelling, but it's just stuck inside this deep fried turd of a movie.
In the dumbest setting.
But in the dumbest, ugliest, visually most garish, like visually uncomfortable to look at movie. Ugly. And it's hard for me to say that like that a movie is ugly, because I feel like most movies now, like I feel like movies before like 2001 and after like 2010, like you were allowed to have a wider color palette, and like even if something was stylized, it's like, okay, it's just weird, but it's not ugly. This shit is ugly. This is UGLY ugly. But there is this compelling movie buried deep inside it, which, as you said, if this were remade, I would go to see it in theaters. And I like never go to the movie theater anymore. I would go to the theater to watch this. That is how much that like nugget inside it was compelling to me.
I think the question becomes, why is the vampire that we want to see always in the shittiest properties?
Yeah.
Like, why do we never get this in a high budget movie? Why do we never get the Forever Night vampires in like in an actual produced TV show? Like, why does it's inversely correlated? Like, the shittiest, more indie the vampire is, the more likely I am to enjoy the movie. The more highbrow I've thrown money at it movie you make, the less I am likely to like the vampire in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I agree with you. I don't know what it is where it feels like when they're making a movie or a TV show that has vampires in it and that they think is going to appeal to like a wide audience, and it's going to have like 7 seasons, or it's going to have like 3 sequels if it's a movie. Like for those, I feel like they make the vampire character really dumb, and if it's an allegory, it's like, oh, it's an allegory for like a bad boyfriend, or like it's like it's so flat and one-dimensional, and like I don't care about it. But then you have the Forever Night vampires, and you have at least Adrian Paul's vampire character from The Breed, where I'm like, oh, this is a character that is multifaceted and has a lot going on, and their backstory actually matters, and they're not just like a early 2000s like mope fest where they don't like the reason for the moping doesn't seem to matter, or they're like I just wear a lot of black leather and I'm like a fake goth. Like I look goth and I look sad, but like there's nothing actually inside of me. I am a hollow vessel. There's nothing there. Like I feel like that's the vampire you get. Like, did I watch Angel? Yeah. Did I like it? Like sometimes, but Angel is like not a very complicated character. Like you want him to
but
be.
He's not.
You want there to be more going on. But like David Boreanaz is just like, I don't know, I got hair gel and I'm sad because I'm a vampire. Like, and I'm like, okay, like you gave me like, or like Mick St. John from Moonlight. Like, oh, I'm sad. I don't want to be a vampire. And like they all solve crimes because they have to all solve crimes. But like, I feel like those characters, they're like, well, we made them sad. That's like depth, right? And I'm like, not yet, not quite, almost, just so close. Thank you for trying, but you didn't try hard enough. And so like those where they're like willing to greenlight it, I'm like, oh, okay, like I feel like you think you know what I want, but you've just given me like. You've given me like the hollow M&M. Like it looks like what I want, and then I bit into it and there was nothing inside of it. And this looks like a big fat dumpster fire. But deep inside, there was something very satisfying, but I had to wade through a pile of shit. And like you clearly didn't think that there was anything there because you didn't give it any money. You didn't hire a lot of like big name actors. You clearly didn't have like anybody writing it. at all. You had like some rando woman who only goes by one name who did all of the costumes, and you let her just go weird with it. And like you clearly didn't care. And because you didn't care, someone was able to sneak in a little piece of
Yeah.
quality like deep inside. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why the things that like, and this goes back to a conversation that we had like a long time ago. I think when we did our like top 10 ratings of vampire movies.
When we only made it through like 6. Yeah.
Correct. But like, so I think that we had talked about that a little bit.
I mean, it's the like the audience is there. We're there. Like,
yes. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. This is why it's embarrassing to tell anybody that you're like, oh, I like a vampire movie or like a vampire book or whatever, because I feel like to the public, you're like, oh, do you mean like melodrama? Oh, do you mean something silly like Twilight? Oh, do you mean something? Do you mean like the spandex and leather vampires from the early 2000s? Do you mean that you watch a lot of like 1930s horror movies? Which on that point I do, but like I feel like if you say I like a vampire thing to somebody who doesn't like vampire things, they're like, oh, you like stupid, shitty garbage. And it's like, no, it's just that all the things that are made in the genre that I like, so much of it is in fact stupid, shitty garbage. But when it's not stupid, shitty garbage, it's amazing. Like A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, like mind-blowing. Dracula's Daughter, obviously my favorite movie ever. Like there's this is a movie that I like now, and I can't seem to fathom it because there's something good buried deep inside.
It's kind of like herpes. You'll be sitting there one day and you'll be like, I kind of want to watch The Breed. I think I'll put it on. I think I'll put it on. I feel a tingling in my lip. I think
yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's like, this is like, I don't know why the only things that are made are the things that make it embarrassing to say that you like this type of thing.
Yes, because it's a total audience creator mismatch. Where I think there are the people that want horror vampires, and they get overserved. And so they're so picky about their horror vampires. Well, I didn't think they were bloody enough, or I didn't think whatever. Okay, well, there's those of us who have been dying for someone to make something that is not a horror vampire and not Louis from the Interview with the Vampire. Like, give me the middle ground. Like the guy who became a vampire to avenge his family and is like, shit, now I'm still alive. What do I do with this?
Give me the allegory vampire. Give me the allegory vampire and do it well, and I'm yours forever. I'm yours forever.
Like, I will watch the shit out of that. I can't even. Do you know how many times I've watched The Breed? Do you know how bad The Breed is? Do you know how many times I've watched it? Because I'm like, this is scratching an itch.
Good.
It's not really scratching the itch, but it's kind of scratching the itch. It's scratching the itch.
It's as close as we're going to get.
And I don't have any other options. Like, I can rewatch Forever Night. I can watch this, and I can. And what gets me is like Lost Boys did it, right? Michael is the like, I'm the reluctant vampire. Like, it's the coming of age I didn't want. It's the like,
yeah, he's
and it's
compelling.
a good, like, people love The Lost Boys. It's enduring. It's still a great movie. It's,
you know what I think it is though? It's because I feel like it's like The Breed in that to give us the reluctant vampire, where it's an allegory for coming of age and struggling to figure out who you are and who you fit in and where you belong. In order to give us that, they had to surround it with the what's his face? Donald Sutherland's kid, Kiefer. They had to with the Kiefer Sutherland and biker gang
the horror vampires,
and then you have to have the horror vampires, and then you have to have the Frog Brothers as the comic relief who are kind of making fun of the vampires. So you still have the horror vampires, and because of them, like that, like we're able to sneak in.
We can kind of slide it in, but we can't have him be the whole movie. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, and I agree with you. I feel like that is the best that we, and like it's a good. I love that movie. It's a very good movie, but like I feel like that's the only way that we get the thing that we want is if it's snuck in through a back door to the vampires that some studio head thinks are the actual draw to the audience. Like the mindless ones, the violent ones, the like cartoonishly evil ones. Like that's the ones that are like one dimensional. Like those are the ones that like act as cover for the 3-dimensional ones to like squeak
Right.
in the side and like hope that nobody notices that there's a good
Yeah. And then
vampire
they'll
thing
do
in
it.
there.
Sometimes they'll do it, but they'll do it poorly. And then they're like, well, it didn't work. That's why we don't do it. Like, we got Lost Boys, and they were like, maybe the part of this that worked was the whiny teenage boy. And so then they made Near Dark, where the whiny teenage boy is the main character. And although it has one of my favorite vampire scenes of all time in it, he's an asshole, and he's just annoying. Like, he's the least interesting character in the entire movie.
Wait, which one is Near Dark? Is it the cowboy one that I don't like?
It's the Western one. Yeah. He's an asshole. He's like, when I don't want to kill people. And she's like, fine, I'll do it for it. Like, she's doing the vampire equivalent of cooking dinner for him. And it's so annoying.
Yes.
Like, and then they were like, well, that didn't work. It bombed. And it's like, nothing about that movie was what we wanted. Like, you didn't understand what we wanted, and you tried making something not understanding what we wanted, and they're like, well, you guys didn't like it. I don't know why you didn't like it.
Well, and that's and that brings up my other point, which is I feel like less so than with zombies, but to a not insignificant amount, I feel like a lot of time with vampire movies, they'll be like, well, they can't have fangs, and they can't like do anything vampire, like with like Twilight. They're not vampire. Like, nothing about them is vampiric. Like, nothing.
No, they're zombies.
Yeah. So and then in Near Dark, they never say vampire. They never call them vampires. I don't think they even have. I don't think they have fangs. And you see them kill people, but it's not like with their teeth or anything. So like, if you're ashamed that you're making a vampire movie, you're not going to make a good vampire movie. If you think like I'm ashamed to go and see a vampire movie because like a lot of them are so bad. But if you didn't start off making it like you were already embarrassed to be here, I think we'd have a leg up.
Or they got to make it real weird. That's the other one. Like, it's called Wisdom of Crocodiles. Or I think
I heard about that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard that that's like an insane movie.
It's got Jude Law in it. Don't read the book. Just don't read there's a book.
There's a book?
Don't fucking I tried reading the book. I was like, oh, I love this movie. I'll read the book. It turns out the main character of the movie is like a side character, and he's in like 2 chapters. And all the rest of it is about the failure of the British banking industry in the 1980s.
Well, now I have to read it. That sounds
so
great.
bad. Anyway, Jude Law plays this vampire character, but he's not. He's a vampire character, but it's another one where like he doesn't have fangs and we don't say vampire. And he has to get the women to love him first. And so the idea is he doesn't even know who he is anymore because he has to be what they want. And so is that even life? Because he can't be himself, because he can only be what women want in order to get them to love him, which was like the original incel movie. But the weirdest part is every time he kills people, he passes a kidney stone, like a giant kidney stone. And it's not immediately obvious the first time you watch it. I thought he was like barfing it up, but no, he's peeing it out. Like and it's like a long crystal, and he has all these boxes, and he like lays it in the box, and he labels it the woman that he killed.
Oh, don't keep your kidney stones.
It's so, and you're like, I would have been here for the like, oh no, like I have to kill people in order to survive, but I have to know them first. Like, that's horrifying. We could have done so much with that. And instead you're like, what if it made him pass a kidney stone?
That seems like a problem endemic to these movies. You're like, okay, I have a really interesting take on vampires. And then like some movie studio official is like, but what if you made it dumber? All right, we're gonna make it dumber, everybody. We're gonna make it worse. And the author's like, no. The screenwriter's like, no. I had a good thought. And they're like, you did. Take your money. Fuck right off. All right, we're gonna make it stupid. Bring out the sparkles. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. So if the question is like, I have never made this recommendation before. I would only recommend that someone watch this movie if they have time to watch it twice.
That's fair.
I feel like that's the only way.
And you got to sit through the whole thing. You can't bail on it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And you can't, I feel like, look, I'm as bad about this as anybody else. You can't sit there and like fuck around on your phone and like glance up at the screen, because the first time you watch it, there's just so many weird, ugly, stupid visuals like just being flown at your face that if you blink, if you look down, you're gonna miss something that's really funny and weird. Like when we talked about Adrian Paul on the skateboard, he's literally lying on his side, shooting at somebody, being propelled by someone dragging him on an invisible skateboard, and his propulsion makes no sense because he's skateboard height
Yeah.
off the floor. Like he's not doing anything, but he's like squeaking himself across the like it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen, and you'll miss it if you're not
Right.
looking at the screen. But if you've seen it once, then you kind of understand the beats, and then you can like when they mumble the dialogue, or when all of a sudden you're like, oh, how come I'm at this new apartment? How did we get here? I thought you were an NSA agent. Why are you investigating a murder? What's going on? Like once you've seen it once, you can kind of go, okay, I understand the basic like pattern of how we get here, and then you can kind of engage with it on the deeper level that the movie didn't want you to engage with it at, and you can I don't know, you can see the hint of the better thing underneath, and I would say it's worth it, that better thing underneath. I mean, I don't know. There's something there.
It's a fun movie and it gets you. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I mean, the first time you watch it, you're like, what was that? And then you're like, well, maybe I could watch it again. And then you watch it again, and then, literally like a week from now, you'll be like, I should watch The Breed again. I think I'm going to watch The Breed again. Every
Yeah.
once in a while, I'm like, oh man, I want to watch The Breed. Like it just,
I mean, not to be too coy about it, it'll sink its fangs into you.
it's good. And it just, and I wish I know I like it because I like the storyline. And I think I could see it being done again, and it being an extremely well done, like a really compelling story. If you cleaned it up a little bit,
Yes.
you give me just give me a little bit more clarity, like change the setting, and it's great. And
Yeah.
is it because I'm so starved for this kind of movie? I don't think so. I think it would be fine anyway. I just wish I knew, and I don't think, of course, we're not going to solve it on this podcast, but like, just as a PSA to anybody who's doing screenwriting, like, we're here and we want these kinds of movies. I will slog through a shitty 2001 TV pilot that aired on Stars to get this. So like, you can make movies that have like, I don't know. And we don't even get books anymore, because now it's all like, what if the vampire was 7'5" and he had a dick you had to use two hands to get your hand around, and he was king of a kingdom, and I was forced to marry him.
Sure. So I've had the opposite experience lately, which is I had only ever seen vampires in like trashy dime store novels, like up until recently. And then all of a sudden in the last couple of years, there was Woman Eating, which got like a bunch of awards. And then the god, it's not the god of small things. It's the god of, God, I hated this goddamn book. I need to know the name of it. The god of,
I think I read Woman Eating.
Yeah, because I made you. I was like, I hate it. You have to. It's not the vampire god. Come on, man. It was anyway. So I'll find the name of it in a second. But
God of Endings.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, that scratched me in my brain. So the God of Endings and Woman Eating both came out within like I think a year of each other, and they both came out semi recently. They both got lots of awards, and it was like they were both hailed as like, oh, we finally have literary fiction with vampires. Oh my, you could have real highbrow novels that explore the human condition, but with vampires. And I was like, oh, really, that's the thing that you can do.
Who knew?
Oh, wow. So who knew, the thing I've been asking for. So I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, finally a book I don't have to be like ashamed and like put a little cover on to read because it's got a vampire in it, so it's going to be trash. So I read both those books and I hated both of them. I hated them so much. And like, not because of like, oh, they're like not hitting the genre points that I want them to hit. But I like the God of Endings, she's barely a vampire. She's like a woman that's lived a long time, and it was just deeply unsatisfying.
You got to give me the tropes. I got to have them. If you're going to take away sunlight from me, then they need to be invited in. Like, there's certain things that they need to have, or they're not vampires.
Yes. Yeah. But so I would say I don't need it to be like a genre novel. But if you decided that you're writing a book and a character is a vampire, then that has to mean something different from she's just a lady that's lived a long time or whatever. Like for Woman Eating, I was so excited because again, they're like clearly trying to make it into an allegory for this woman being biracial because one of her parents was the dad I think was Japanese and the mom was either white or something else that's just not Japanese. I don't remember. And she's living in the UK. She's living in London. So she's dealing with racism and like cross-cultural differences. And like, you know, like the thing that like every ethnic kid has had where you like bring food to school and kids are like, what the fuck is that? And they're mean to you. And like for her, she was born a vampire, which I don't love. I feel kind of weird about baby vampires, but like whatever. Like she's born a thing that is different, and she has to only you know, I think for them they eat blood. It was like blood chips or whatever. But anyways, like so I was like, okay, like you're gonna give me like a take on what it's like to be ethnically different from like most of your peers and like what that's like growing up and like being different. Like or and like you know being like part of two worlds like your parent your first generation essentially your first generation like living in the UK like that there's so much there that you could build on and instead it was like she wants to be an artist and this one guy's kind of a dick to her and she has a hard time finding blood and the guy is a jerk so she bites him and now she's a super vampire off on her adventure the end and I was like the fuck and also like there's her taking care of her mother and I'm like oh I feel like we never get to explore that of like here's the vampire character, here's the not vampire character. Or I think her mother like is a vampire, but like is dying.
Her mother's a vampire. Her mother turned her into a vampire as a child.
Yeah, but the mother is like dying or senile or something.
She has dementia.
Yes. Like the caregiver relationship plus vampirism plus like the first generation ethnic kid allegory like all that is so fruitful like you could do so much with that but the whole novel just felt like it was focusing on her wanting to be an artist and I was like I sort of don't care and you sort of don't care.
Yeah, because she never does any art. She just has an art studio.
Yes, that she sleeps in and I'm like okay like don't like I feel like again someone was like, hey, I am going to write some literary fiction. And what's the big hook that's going to get everyone to talk about me? Well, it'll be literary fiction, but with a vampire. What? You can have a monster in literary fiction? Really? And that'll be what everyone talks about. And then, but I'm embarrassed to have a vampire in there because that's kind of lowbrow. So I'm going to put it in there as like a shock factor and then not actually do anything interesting with it fucking at all. And like, don't like, I am your target audience. Do you know what I mean? Like I will read the literary fiction all day long. I want to feel smart and fancy. Give me the book that makes me feel smart and fancy. Throw some vampires in, but don't throw it in unless you're gonna actually use it. I don't understand the point of throwing it in as like oh by the way vampires are here. Like no, that's insane. Like if you had a novel about like a person living their life in a regular town and then like page 399 out of 400 it's like oh here's my neighbor Count Orlok. You'd be like what fucking what that's been there the whole like is that was I supposed to know that was there like why would you it's so unsatisfying to throw it in and not actually deal with it because then I feel like you tricked me into buying this book. I could have bought any fancy literary fiction book but you were like no this one's got vampires it's for you and I was like okay here's my $30 and then you were like ha sucks for you. It's not even an allegory. It's not a metaphor. It's not nothing. We didn't touch it at all. But it's 4,000 pages long. Suck it. Like that's like don't do the bait and switch.
I hear you.
You know, like at least with a crappy movie where they're embarrassed and they're like making clear they're embarrassed. Like I know what I'm going in for. Like I know that I have to like wear my big dark hat and my sunglasses to go and watch this movie because it's embarrassing for all of us. Like I get it. But don't make me think that you're like this is going to be the one that treats the material and the audience with like some modicum of respect. Like don't raise my hopes like that and then fuck me in the ass. Like that's not fair. That's not fair to do that to me. So I don't know. I'm trying to keep my hope up a little bit because I feel like if 2 literary fiction vampire books get published sort of recently, maybe there could be a third one. Maybe there could be a fourth one.
Yeah.
Maybe like this means that the door is open a crack and like some stuff might come through.
I've seen some fairly popular authors who are dipping their toe into vampire fiction. So V.E. Schwab, who I generally universally hate, wrote a book called Bury Me in the Midnight Soil, or Bury My Bones in the Midnight Soil.
I've seen that mentioned on Instagram. I haven't read it, but I've seen
like 30 pages in, but V.E. Schwab never grabs me. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I need to give her more than 30 pages. I need to give her more time.
Yeah. I'm working on Lucy Undying. That one I feel like they were doing that thing where they're like, it's not literary fiction, but it's not genre fiction. It might be a little bit fancy. And I was like, okay. And it's like 400 pages and I have it on my Kindle, and I haven't gotten very far because it's just, it feels like they were like, it's not genre fiction. And then they're like, psych, yes, it is. And I'm like, okay. And I feel like I'm plodding through it. Like, it's just like, I'm reading a diary and she's like, first I did this and then I did that. And then I brushed my teeth. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I just either make something happen or make it like real literary fiction where there's like a point to me staring at your eyebrows for 60 pages, like, because I'm learning something about you. Like, just give me something. But I bought it. I have it on the Kindle. I got kind of far into. I'm gonna make an effort to to get more through it. But like, it sucks that we can't, like, romantasy people are getting all the books they want now. Like, I feel like that was something that we all looked down on, and now everyone is getting their monster fucker books. Like, okay,
right. And
what about for the rest of genre fiction?
We did Forever Night. We did movies like The Breed. Like, people are doing it. There's indie movies that you're like, oh, this was really good. This is similar to what I was hoping to find every time I go watch a vampire movie. Like, this is what I mean when I say vampire movie. And then we just got that one that's not coming out in the US until February, but it's the like Dracula. It's the Love Dracula one. And it's got.
Is it the French one?
Yeah, it's by Luc Besson. And he used AI for a bunch of the special effects. And I wish he hadn't, because now I can't like it. And, but I maybe watched it because it's out there. It's just not going to be out in theaters in the US until February. So I tried watching it and I was like, this is like kind of what I want, but vaguely unsatisfying in a way I can't define. And then the ending was like tragic for no fucking reason. And I was just like, why? What do you think I want from a romance vampire? Like, there's the spectrum over here that's like, I want the like fiercely protect. You know what I hate about romantasy vampires? I'd probably read more monster fucker books, but we always solve all the vampire problems immediately. Like, oh, the vampire can't go out in the sun? Fine. The sun blew up 100 years ago and like there's no sun anymore. Surprise. So it doesn't matter. And, oh, you need to drink blood, but like not a lot, not often. And like it feels really good. And we can eat gnats and it's enough and it's fine. And you're like, I hate the solved problem. Don't give me a fucking solved problem, because now there's no friction.
Yeah.
You being a vampire generates no friction.
Yeah. Well, it's like what we were talking about a minute ago. Like, if you're going to give me a vampire, give me a vampire.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't have to, like there's like 100 different tropes from like a 1,000 different cultures and eras that you don't have to use every single one, but make them noticeably a vampire, which means that they have limitations and they have struggles and they have fucking fangs.
They have fucking fangs. I mean, Being Human did it too. Like, I don't know why I didn't add that to the list. Being Human did it. Being Human US and UK.
Yeah. Yeah. And even though like I think they're not perfect shows, and I have, things I liked and things I didn't like about both of them, they did a really good job with going, okay, people want allegory monsters. Let's give them allegory monsters. Let's, like it's drug addiction, and they can eat other food and they can do other things, but they have this monkey on their back that they just cannot shake. And it feels real good when they don't. And I'm like, okay, like, it's not, the drug addiction vampire is not my personal favorite allegory, but you're giving me an
Yeah.
allegory and I'm thankful for it. Thank you so much. You're giving me characters that are struggling and that sometimes do stupid things and are trying to be better, but they backslide. Like you're giving me characters that feel closer to real people who are multidimensional, and they aren't just good and they aren't just bad. And I like that. I like that. Like that's what I want. That's what I want in my monsters. Like give me more of that. I feel like it's not hard.
I know. You'd think it wouldn't be. And yet here we are.
Yeah.
Watching The Breed. I'm not mad. I like The Breed. I'd like it anyway. I would like it anyway. It just reminds me that like
It makes you long
yeah,
for
like if
something
this
better.
shitty movie can give me that moment in the bar when he asks him,
Yes.
what is it like to drink blood? And he gives him the look and then he's like, you don't want to know. Like you lose yourself and you become a different person and I don't want to talk about it. Like
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much in that. There's so much
yeah.
in that.
And I was like, like this is what I want. This is the moment I want where you like, you have these two characters. This is what I wanted from Forever Knight the whole time, was for him to have a partner who had to figure out the rules. Because Natalie doesn't care about the rules. Natalie thinks the rules are bullshit. Like he'll be like, I can
Correct.
fly. And she's like, sounds like a medical condition. It's fine.
What medical condition is
I know.
that, Natalie?
I would like a
Anti-gravity?
cold that lets me levitate. Like, can I find that virus, please? He's like, I think it's kind of magic. And she's like, nah, no, man, no. And he's like, I can literally fly. Like, that's the one that gets me. Like, you could have given me the coroner that thinks it's just a medical condition if he could not fly. If he could not fly. But then once you can make him fly, nothing says medical condition anymore. He can.
Well, but like he can change his eyes. He can grow vampire fangs and like shrink them away. Like I feel like you saw him die and then come back to life. Like it's really her being like, it's in your head. Drink some milk. I'm like,
Yeah.
Seriously?
So that doesn't scratch the itch. But if he had had a partner who knew what he was, and then we have to navigate the world of like learning about each other and learning like having to exist in the world with someone who knows who you are and the consequences of like,
Yeah.
I can unmask with this person, but how much can I unmask with this person? Because I'm terrifying. Like I could be terrifying if I'm not careful. And like that's the allegory
Yes.
I've always wanted. Like that's the one that I don't care if they're solving crimes. I love a vampire solving crimes, obviously. I've read so many fucking vampire solving crimes things. At this point, it's just part of the package. I don't care. But like
Yeah.
that's what I want, because that's your allegory for like neurodivergence. That's your allegory for like, I don't know how to exist in the world. I know who I am, but I don't know if who I am is terrifying to you or not. And I have no way of gauging that. Because I'm always one way with people and I know that works. And so I'm finally free to not do that with you, but I'm terrified to not do that with you.
Yeah. No, it's compelling. Like the breaking it down to like its most base level, just the like the character that knows that they are different. Just the character that knows that they are different and that their difference may not be accepted. Like whatever that difference is. It's great. I mean, like the problem I have with a show like True Blood is they're like vampires are an allegory for homosexuality. And I'm like, yeah, but like gay people aren't ripping people's throats out like on the regular. So like in that world, they're so violent that I'm like,
they're universally violent.
Yes, there's a reason why maybe like if like the gay pride parade was just a bloodbath every year, like I'd be like, well, maybe there's a reason to be afraid of the gays. Like maybe we should be afraid. So like I feel like in that world, like they don't like they come close, but they don't quite get there. But yeah, like the vampire that's just like the thing that I am is different from the thing that you are, and I don't know. I can I be myself at all? And if so, can I be like, is there a degree of self that I can present to you that would still be okay? And how much do I have to tuck into a hole and zip it up and like push that shit down and only let it out when no one else is around? Like it's heartbreaking.
That's what I want. Like that's and then a whole show of that where it's two people learning how to be together, like a partner learning how to work together, whatever you want to do it. I don't care, but like I would watch the shit out of that. like, I watched the first or season or 2 of Vampire Diaries because we almost get like, I hate teenage vampires, but you'll get me if I think
Yeah.
you're gonna give me what I want. So I'll give it a shot. I'll pretend you're all 25, and I'll just watch it.
Well, the actors are all
Right, so it's
35, so
fine.
it's
Like, it
fine.
works it works. And then all of a sudden, there's, like, werewolves and witches and some super class of people that are hunters who feel, like,
Yes.
overwhelmingly compelled, and I
And
was
then I'm
like,
lost.
Everyone's supernatural, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't give a shit anymore because now this is not a normal world that you're trying to navigate. Now this is
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's so in general, I don't like a show that has more than one kind of monster because I feel like it always ends up falling into like a big
yeah.
mess. But I will say that I feel like this is where Being Human succeeds and Vampire Diaries fails. Because for Being Human, I'm like, okay, ghosts are people with depression and like maybe agoraphobia. I don't know, but like definitely depression. And werewolves are people that struggle with anger issues. And vampires are people that are struggling with addiction. And like, because each of them is like, you're a person with a struggle. I'm like, okay, I get it. But I feel like in Vampire Diaries, they're all like superheroes kind of.
Yeah.
And like, then I'm like, well, I don't give a shit.
And
I
they're
don't,
all that way, so they all get to just be themselves with each other. And then one guy gets to be
yeah.
both a vampire and a werewolf. And then
They
and
always
I'm
want to
like,
do
I
that.
don't
I'm not,
Can we not? Can we not? Like,
yeah.
who asked for that?
Now it's just stupid.
Nobody asked for that. And then we come
Nobody.
up with a whole nother class of vampires who are different than the original vampires. I'm just like, I don't. And then they had a whole spinoff with the new, improved, but slightly different vampires. And I was like, I don't care about any of this. Hey, the books that are based on are terrible. Have you ever read the books?
I couldn't bring myself to.
They're the most like pre 1990, like probably 1995 to 1990 to 1993, I think is when she's writing. She writes a whole bunch of books and then she quit. She like stopped writing forever. And then she came back and finished all of her series. Anyway, they're like the most when teen books were like elementary fiction. Like our teen books now are what we would have considered like a easy read, like a adult easy read is what teen books are
Oh,
now.
yeah,
But then
yes.
like teen books before are like what we consider elementary fiction now or middle grade fiction. They read like middle grade
Yeah.
fiction. Like a 6th or 7th grader would read them. That's what they read like. And then you tried to make a book, you tried to make a show out of them and it just didn't work. And I just anyway, this is long. We're good. It's midnight. I will continue to lament this until I get the wave of vampire as allegory that I want.
Yeah, no, if there's a protest to be made, if there's a sign to hold up, I will be
Yeah.
there with you. Obviously, we have the same concerns.
Just the two of us standing. But the thing is, there's more of us. But it's like you said, you can't say I'm a vampire fan. Because if you say I'm a vampire fan, but I don't like horror vampires, then you get shit on by the people that like horror vampires, or you get shit on by the people who are like, all vampire stuff just is stupid. And so
Yeah.
you're in this weird middle ground of like, I have to like the thing, but I can't talk about how I like the thing because I don't like I don't like 30 Days of Night. I'm never
Yeah.
going to like 30 Days of Night. And if you look at a list of like the best vampire movies ever, 30 Days of Night is always on there. And I'm
It's
like,
always on there.
I'm never going to like it.
I've only seen clips of the very last scene of the movie because like I like a self-sacrificing vampire scene, so I was like, oh, is this on Google? So, but I've never seen anything before that scene, so I have no idea about the rest of the movie. I just like a self-sacrificing vampire. Spoiler alert for an old movie. I ruined it for you. So I do feel like we are lucky now to get the current Interview with the Vampire
Those are
TV
good.
series. I think that's been really good.
The updates there are so good.
Yes. Yeah, because I like the movie. So I haven't read the book. I haven't read any Anne Rice ever. Spoiler alert to the audience. I have tried to read Interview with the Vampire when I was in high school, and I got like 10 pages in, and I was like, I just don't like this. I just do not enjoy it. I want to give it another shot, but like it probably won't be anytime soon. But the movie from the 90s, whenever the one with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise came out, is like fun, but it's like it hates itself. Like it doesn't think vampires are like a good subject. It doesn't think that there's anything deep there. It's just like, well, we'll have tits and ass and blood, and that's what people want. And I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, it is what it is. But the current version, like, I think it does a good job at dealing with race issues and dealing with sexuality issues. And it's not heavy-handed the way True Blood was, where it's like, you're mean to the gays who can murder you with their mouths. And it's like, well, these are also gays who murder you with their mouths, but like, people aren't afraid of them because of the gay. So like, good job. So I'm happy for that. But I do kind of feel like anytime we get anything either prestige or like HBO where it's like sex but we pretend it's prestige, I feel like anytime we get any of that stuff and the audience likes it, I feel like it's like, well, we like it despite them being vampires. We like it for 100 other reasons, but
Not the vampire
part. That's not why we like it. No. And it's like, okay. So I don't feel hopeful anymore when I get a good vampire show, because I'm like, this will not lead to more good vampire shows. This will just lead to nothing until there's another resurgence and I get one more good vampire show, and then there'll be, you know, the desert again for like 10 years. But like, I guess I'm happy that we have something good now. I don't know. I still haven't seen Talamasca or whatever that spin-off show is, even though I heard that Jason Schwartzman plays a vampire in it, which if there's a way to get me into a TV show, Jason Schwartzman as a vampire, I mean, like, that should be it. So if I watch it, I'll report back, but I haven't, like, I know that they have like witches in their universe, and that's why they have the Mayfair Witches show. And I'm like, you're not going to get me to watch it because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about other oogie boogie spookly dooglies. I don't care.
I don't like witches. I don't care for werewolves. I really don't like zombies. I am very monotropic. I want my one thing. I want you to do it the way I want you, the way I want it done. And I just don't think it's that hard. And I don't know. Maybe we need to become screenwriters.
Oh, no, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. This is step one to starting our own production company. And it's just amazing vampire movies that nobody ever makes because there's no budget big enough for the special effects that we want.
We remake vampire movies that almost got there, but didn't quite make it. Like Daybreakers. Daybreakers almost made it.
Yes.
And then they screwed the pooch. And then The Breed almost made it, but it just needed a different setting. Like there's all these movies where I'm like, we almost got there. Almost. And I know how to fix them. That's the one. I can fix you. Like, we're like girlfriends in a bad relationship. I can fix him. It's fine.
In an abusive relationship, let's be honest. Okay, that's the tagline for this episode. I can fix all of them.
All right, I think this is a good place to leave it.
All right, well, Merry Christmas to anyone who celebrates, because I'm assuming this is going to be like a Christmas secret special episode. So happy holidays or whatever. Happy end to 2025.
Yeah, fuck 2025.
We'll talk to you in 2026, which I'm hoping is better.
It can't get worse. Oh, God, I can't believe I said that out loud.
I'm leaving now. Why did you say that?